You are now tuned into Somewhere in the Middle with Soonie and Mo.
Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay.
Hey, Don on the beat.
I got so many ups.
Everywhere I go, I
got so many ups.
so many y'all.
I know they plotting against me. I know it's hate, they wanna kill me, but please don't tempt me, cause I got so many Glocks. Hey, ain't none of them empty. Jesus said they would hate me too. That's how I know it's envy. I got so many ups.
You know what was really cool is I was just watching my phone and like literally within seconds of us going live, I got like a notification, which is a great, that's a great sign.
These are notifications going out.
Hercules. Yeah. Welcome everybody. We back.
Hello, y'all. It's
You guys
Friday.
are lucky. Listen, let me just tell you, you're lucky I'm here because I almost got blown away like Dorothy, like the Puerto Rican Dorothy in a tornado yesterday. Okay.
Puerto Rican Dorothy, huh?
The Puerto Rican Dorothy. Dorthia. What up, big booty? What up, big booty Judy? We gotta play the big booty Judy theme. You got it? You got it? I got it. You
Judy, big booty Judy. What? Big Judy, big booty Judy. Big booty, big Judy, big booty Judy. Stop, I wanna see you move it. Yeah. Big booty Judy, big booty Judy. Big booty Judy, that's big booty Judy. Big booty Judy, that's big booty Judy. Big booty Judy, that's big booty Judy.
My favorite part, it's like, got thick booty Judy. Oh my gosh. What's up, Liddell? What's up, Janine? What's up, Amy? What's up, Birdman? What's up, Christina?
What's up, everybody?
Dang.
How are you?
How are you? Shout out where you're
How are
coming
ya?
from, where you're watching from, what platform, what state. We want to know. We have a lot. When do we not have a lot?
Well, the day we had Maggot Jackson on is when we had a lot of maggot trash. So, I mean, that was like the most empty show that we've ever done. So, I think that
Wait.
show.
Wait a minute. It wasn't empty. I take offense to that. Okay. He was Trasha Jackson, but it was not empty. That show was messy.
Well,
as
I'm
all
saying
get out.
it's empty because he didn't answer one question that we asked. He just evaded everything.
I know.
He's
but
like the worst suspect to bring into the interrogation room, and you ask him, and he's just like talks around everything. I plead the fifth.
But we literally like read him to filth, and I'm pretty sure we
did.
earned our law degrees just in that live. Like, shout out in the chat if you watch the Maggot Jackson live, because you guys, we have an update, okay, on that we're going to provide a little bit later in the show. Not the last thing. We're going to provide it somewhere in the middle. But yeah, shout out if you watched it. If you didn't watch it, please go back and watch it. It was great. Okay, what we thought was going to be, you know, a nice little interview with somebody who considers himself to be the son of Jermaine Jackson turned out to be literally a criminal case. Insert the ding sound from like First 48.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun. It was definitely a special victims unit because he scammed a lot of special people. I'm just saying,
Oh, dude, and
you
some
are
victims
special.
some
if you let
victims
that
reached
man
out to
fool
us.
you.
Mhm.
Have you I wish we had a photo to pull up of him. Have you guys seen this dude?
Can you dude, all the photos in our WhatsApp chat? Come on.
You know
First of
what?
all,
You know what I'm gonna do, Mo? Can we do something really funny to start
What?
off the show?
Of course we could do that. People love when we do something funny. What are you talking about?
We're gonna
Kelly?
do something funny. This is completely off the cuff, guys. Nothing
Okay.
in our show is planned. I don't know why I said that. We don't plan the show. We say the topics and then we just get on here and run our mouths. That's how it goes down.
That's how it goes.
Dang, what was the name of it? Oh.
Anyways, let me just while Suni's pulling that up, can I just show you guys a picture really quick? So while we're talking about Jackson. Okay, so if you didn't watch it, just quick rundown. This guy claims to be the son of Jermaine Jackson. Why that little tidbit is important is because if you were the son of Jermaine Jackson, tell me why you would have to wait in line at a book signing and pay $20 to buy his book so that your daddy could sign it. Okay. This little screenshot right here came from somebody who slid in my email box 2 days ago, who is a victim, okay, of MAGA Jackson and his schemes. Now, I want to say this. If you watch that show, you know that we told MAGA Jackson, if you have evidence to like dissipate anything that we said tonight in the show, because we came with like literal court documents, please share them. And he was like, oh yeah. As soon as I get out of here, I'm gonna send them over to you. Have you gotten anything, Soonie?
No.
Me neither.
Nathan, nada.
Me neither. I haven't gotten a damn thing. Okay. But that email that I got from this girl, and I promised to keep her identity safe because she has quite a tragic story with her family, but she is actually close to the Jackson family in a way. And this guy, Andre MAGA Jackson, was like trying to snuggle up to her in line at the book signing for his dad.
Was he? So that's how
Yeah.
he got in.
That's how he got in.
Somebody else's name once again.
That's right, because he
See?
couldn't just say I'm the son of Jermaine
Couldn't
Jackson.
just do it on your own merit. You need a cosign. See, real family, you don't need a cosign. People just
Yeah.
know who you are.
Yeah.
Just saying. MAGA trash, you are super
trash.
trash.
MAGA trash. Yeah. So we're still waiting. Andre,
We'll be waiting until
you're
pigs
stalking-
fly because he's not going to give us anything.
Andre,
Satan will
stalking
return
us?
before he gives us.
if you're stalking us, he called me a stalker yesterday.
He did.
He called me a stalker yesterday because I commented on one of his like stories that he had on his page. Where that picture you're going to show later, the other one.
Yeah.
He was like, "Stop stalking my page. It's getting a little weird." I'm like, "Your page is public. Number one. Number two, this is on your story. Number three, I'm getting to be a stalker. I'm getting scary." Okay.
Shut up. Shut up. So first of all, me, of all people, says the guy who goes everywhere that Jackson goes just to get a picture to take it back to the internet to say, I know them.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Trash
Listen.
Jackson.
While we're waiting and while we're getting into our next subject, please go follow Julius here. He had
Awesome.
the best street interview to date where he asked the famous question, is it okay to be white? If you want to go see street interviews like this, go follow Today with Julius. He's got an awesome page, honestly. Can't wait to stream some of this stuff under Truth in the Marketplace. This street interview was hilarious.
Mhm.
It's going to tie into the subject that we're talking about today, but it smacks a lot of people in the face
Yeah.
with actual facts, which is
Yeah.
what we like here.
I personally love his street interviews. I wish that we lived in the same city because he's like living my dream with the street interviews. Julius
Yes.
and Mo on the streets would be fire. Okay, because you know
Hilarious.
why? He hangs out outside clubs. Like he does it really good. Like he'll go to places like where people are like coming out of bars and clubs and stuff, and he grabs them like when they're coming out of the on their way or coming out. Oh my gosh, the stuff he gets on these street interviews. Hilarious. Good job,
Hilarious.
Julius.
Anyways, go follow Julius. But we're going to get our show started. But I'm going to give you guys some comic relief before we get this show started because Mo and Christine, our famous, amazing assistant in the background, they did this to me. So I'm going to do it to y'all. Are you ready? Should we do a
Prepare
drum roll?
yourself. This is terrible. Oh my God. Okay, you guys, if you just ate your dinner, you might throw up warning. You might throw up in your mouth. Are you going to show the part like where he's making out with this girl?
I'm going to skip around. We'll skip around. We'll
Please.
skip around.
Okay.
Okay.
Whew. Okay.
Here we go, y'all. MAGA trash. Where's the sound? Bro, where's the sound?
Did you do share sound?
Oh, there it is. I just want to say he disrespected the hell out of fucking Neo and PD Crack. Just FYI.
Come on. Hey.
mami? ¿Qué lo que, mami? Tú sabes que yo te quiero. I like the way you're looking at me. ¿Qué lo que, mami? ¿Qué lo que, mami? Tu cuerpo está en fuego.
Terrible
Dame
Spanish.
besos.
Casi hay muchas, pero que lo que
All
contigo.
right, this dude just said the F word.
Que
He's
lo
a
que
faggot.
mami. Everybody, sing it.
¿Qué lo que, mami? ¿Qué lo que, mami?
This is
Tú sabes
famous
que
Jermaine Jackson's son, everybody.
Oh,
yo te quiero. I like the way you're looking at me. ¿Qué lo que, mami? ¿Qué lo que? Sé que lo que. Tu cuerpo está en fuego. Dame besos. ¿Qué lo que, mami? ¿Qué lo que, mami? Tú sabes que yo te quiero, mi amor. ¿Qué lo que, mami? Sé que lo que. Tu cuerpo está en fuego. Qué linda. You like me, right?
Me hipnotizo con tu sonrisa.
Like his little
Oh my
skit.
God.
I just want to
First
get
of
to the
all-
point where he does the,
the kick.
you know,
First of all, the Dominican brother, what were you thinking? Okay, you ruined your career. You ruined your career. I guarantee. Okay,
Chrissy's still
listen.
gonna toss more cookies.
First of all, as cringy as this is, facts. Okay, this is about to be in your head all night. You about to be like, "Que lo que, mami." Listen, I dare you if you're about if Friday night is the get down night in your house, play this song. Okay, forget Silk, forget Tank, play "Que lo que, mami," because you about to get that ass.
Go. Me besos.
I don't even try. Baby girl, I'll hit your spot. I am Michael Jackson fly. Show you how we'll do it, do it. I don't even try. Baby girl, I'll hit your spot. Flavor like the Jackson 5. Show you how we'll do it, do it.
Yeah. Mega trash, everybody. Mega trash.
Trash. Mega trash.
The
Yep,
son.
he's giving
The
Tank
son
a
of
run for
Jermaine
his money.
Jackson.
There's about to be a whole lot of babies born tonight. Que lo que, mami.
I will leave Truth in the Marketplace if you ever compare him to Tank again.
Are you saying you love Tank now?
I'm saying that's disrespectful to put MAGA trash and Tank in the same conversation. I will leave Truth in the Marketplace.
Listen, do you think that girl that was like all up in his grill in that hotel, it was like a Motel 6, she probably has face herpes? Like, I don't even know.
Face herpes.
What
What
do
is,
you-
what is face herpes?
Face herpes. Like, you know, like if you have herpes like on your mouth or something, and you come in contact, dude, the amount of money you'd have to pay me to even put my body close to that. Let me tell you something. You about to have to cut some checks, okay? I said checks because I need checks like after the fact, checks to pay for my like psychological, you know what I mean? My therapy, the drugs that I'm gonna have to take to mentally deal with what I just did.
Drugs. That's extreme, bro. You're gonna have
Yeah.
to take some drugs after that.
I really would. But you know what's funny is that girl appears. Oh, wait. You guys, I'm sorry we're spending so much time on this. Can you please play the TMZ? Y'all. Yeah. Okay, let me just set this
Yeah,
up.
I don't know where it is. Where is that?
It's in our chat. Is it on-
Okay,
on-
I'll
okay,
look. I'll
I'm
try to
gonna-
find it.
I'm going to set it up really quick. Okay. So we were listening. So Christine sends us Que lo que mami. And I was just like, oh my God. Soonie was off doing something different. So she was doing lives. So she hadn't even seen it. And me and Christine were like literally like in the chat, just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Right. So after watching the Que lo que mami video like twice, because I couldn't believe what I had seen, the next suggested video was like MAGA Jackson and TMZ. And I was like, what? So I click on this video, and you guys, he literally faked a TMZ like paparazzi moment.
Yeah, he
If-
definitely
if-
did.
It was so cringy. Okay. Like when you think of cringy, you're going to think of this. The fact that people participated in this is a low for humanity. Did you find it?
Is it in our group chat? Which one? On Facebook?
We be sending stuff crazy.
know.
I think it's on Facebook in Messenger. Christine, if you have it, please pull it up right now. While she's looking, I'm going to go really quick over the topic so that we can jump right into this. Okay, guys. So we're going to be talking about Deion Sanders. Okay, Deion Sanders is under fire for making some statements about how he recruits players, and also is under fire with Colorado State. I don't know who exactly at Colorado State. We're going to read the article. They don't like him preaching his religious beliefs. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Megan Hall, who is that police officer in the Laverne Police Department in Tennessee. And the one that was like sleeping with all the officers, she was like literally like participating in like group sex with them. She's now turning the tables. You know what? I'm not gonna spill it, but you guys are not gonna believe what this woman is claiming now. Okay. It's crazy.
Feel the 19th.
Yeah. Then we're going to talk about New York police says that shoppers should take off their masks before entering stores. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to give props to Biden, believe it or not. We're going to give props to him because you know what? We do give props when props are due. So we're going to give him some props because he's actually doing or is talking about doing something good. We just gave you the MAGA Jackson update, but we'll give you a little bit more time to talk about it. Then we're going to talk about the Florida bill that will require bloggers to register before talking or writing about Governor Ron DeSantis. Imagine that. I thought he believed in free speech. And then last but not least, we're going to talk about, and somewhere in there, because you guys know I've been posting all this week about how sick and tired I am about racism. We're going to talk about racism. And Hershey's is celebrating International Women's Day in a very woke way, and we're going to talk about that as well.
Extremely woke way. For
Extremely.
no damn reason. For no reason. Y'all always doing something.
Always.
Anyways, here is the famous Geppetto Jackson deep fake. He pretended like this was TMZ, following him around, y'all. Mental illness is real.
So hey girls, what are you guys here for?
Same chick.
I fucking take a plane for 12 hours and I want to see him right now.
Who?
Jeffrey Jackson. Duh. What's him right now?
Go. Hey, Geppetto. Hey, Geppetto, can we get a picture, Geppetto? I heard you're not supposed to be here right now. I heard you're not Australia with Kim in Cabo. What was that like?
Nice to meet you guys.
Hey, I heard you were in Cabo with Kim last week. What's up,
Wait.
Geppetto? Geppetto Jackson.
What?
He said, the guy said, I heard you were in Cabo with Kim last week. Kim Kardashian? By the way, guys, that chick is the same chick that's in the Que Lo Que Mami video. She gets around.
Around.
Hey, Geppetto, can we get an interview real quick? We can't just get an interview real quick for 2 seconds? Geppetto Jackson?
No interview.
Geppetto Jackson?
No interview.
Man, don't touch my camera, man. Hey, Geppetto!
Alright, guys.
Don't
You
do
guys
me
be
like
safe.
that, man.
You guys be safe, alright?
Man, he's over.
All right. You gotta be a desperate mother lover to
Right.
go to those lengths to make it seem like you're famous. Like that is desperation at
I
a
just
whole
want
new level.
I just want to know what camera setting that was filmed with because I am halfway tempted to film my own.
You should do it.
I should do it.
Instead of TMZ, you should put The Breakfast. You should make it seem like The Breakfast Club featured you.
Right. I
That'd be funny.
should. I'm just embarrassed to like ask people to participate in this. I have like
I'm so embarrassed.
like it's gonna be like my kids because I just can't.
Are
I can't
you
go outside.
really?
Yes, I would. Like people are gonna be like, "You want to do what?" You want to be. Anyways,
All right, what's our first topic? I'm going off of your brain. What are we getting into first?
let's talk about the Dion controversy because like this really interested me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna play a clip of the statements that he made. Because there's two things here. So he made some statements about how he recruits. And then we're gonna talk about the actual issue that people are having with him sharing his religious beliefs with his players. So let me just share my screen here, and we will play this.
Different. Like old linemen, I look for dual parent homes,
right?
A strong father that they adhered to,
right?
Smart kid, at least 3.3 and above.
You're also describing Hurts.
Yeah, tough.
Well. I mean,
physical. I mean, offensive lineman. Defensive lineman is totally opposite.
What do you mean?
Single mama, trying to get it. He's on free lunch. I mean, I'm talking about just trying to make it. He trying to rescue mama.
That bothers some people. Let's get my guest in for this discussion. Joining me now, Barry Laminack, Kim Davis, and former NFL player Damian Square to have you all here on the Factor. So, Damian, your thoughts about that? I mean, you're a huge Deion fan, so your thoughts?
I mean, the first thing is I'm a kid that played in the NFL, played at the University of Alabama.
Free or reduced lunch?
Free and reduced. and borrow.
Yeah, both.
And borrow.
You running scams?
Yeah. I still remember my lunch number to this day. You know what I mean? So, and, you know, there was some harsh words to hear. You know, my mom raised a pretty good young man. I went to the University of Alabama, was the number 3 player in my position in the country. You know, shout out to my mom.
There you go.
Also went to the NFL and had a 9-year career. You know what I mean? So, like I said again, shout out to my mom. So to hear him say something like that, you know, I think sometimes Deion can get caught up in the player. And I think he can cross that because we don't let Deion the player go. We like Deion the player prime time. So I think when he interviews sometimes he can kind of cross the player and the coach. And I think in that instance, you know, he just had a moment where he kind of, you know, got into a position where he kind of said too much.
All right.
Yeah.
Kim, your thoughts?
What? Yeah, I agree with everything he said. And, you know, I was talking earlier and somebody mentioned about fake outrage. And what I say is that words matter, right? And what he did was he reinforced every negative stereotype. I work in the sports space, so I was bothered by it because, so you wouldn't have taken Deshaun Watson or Lamar Jackson? Like, that's just, first of all, it doesn't make any sense. I'm fine with him being Deion in prime time, but you're in a different spot now. Your platform is different, and what you say matters. Don't reduce it to that. It's not okay. And I think it's fine for us to call out things that are not okay. And you can still like Deion and like the things he does, and it's exciting. That didn't add anything to what he's going to do in Colorado.
Well, what did he say that wasn't true, though? I mean, we've kind of known, and that's been the talk since this came out, as everybody has kind of agreed, whether they've been publicly agreeing with it or just kind of privately.
Agree with what? So I don't agree with it.
That this isn't something new that coaches their philosophy of recruiting. I mean, you played that you know that there's coaches look for certain things. They're just not the ones that go on Rich Eisen and say it.
Right.
And I think that's the problem, as he said, the truth. And sometimes when we hear the truth of what these coaches are doing, right or wrong, it's what they're doing.
I'm going to push back just a little bit because I don't know that it's necessarily the truth for everybody. And here's the other thing.
Not everybody, no.
Here's the other thing. So what that then opens the door is for a whole lot of other nonsense to be said. Well, you know, we talked just earlier about black women in their hair. Maybe they shouldn't be on television. Maybe they shouldn't be black women.
It has nothing to do with black women.
It's somebody's truth to just say it. And as a black man, I'm going to say that, he ought to know better and he ought to do better.
I think the interesting thing, though, is, you know, when I first heard it, and this is just me being honest, race never entered the equation for me.
Right.
Race didn't enter the equation for me either.
But that's the thing. But that's what's being brought up now more is that it's like I read an article where a guy, I think it was like Outkick or something like that, but the guy was upset because he says this is magnifying stereotypes in the black community.
So
well, my thing is,
and I was like, well, I grew up in a single parent household. My mom raised me.
So did the Bosa.
I understand
so
that.
did the Bosa brothers. So did Joey and Nick Bosa grew up in a single parent household. I mean, their dad was an NFL player, and they kind of followed in the path of their dad, but two kids that aren't black that got drafted really high in the NFL draft came from a single parent household. You know what I mean? So you can't just say that that's a black thing or a white thing because
here's why, for me, Barry, and I don't think that you're like, you know, racist or something. But your reality is different, right?
I agree 100%.
So, for instance, we never talk about the fact that Tom Brady, right, had a kid out of wedlock.
Yeah.
But any black player that has a kid without being married, it reinforces this stereotype. And I just think we have to be careful.
But I think that's the light that they try to shine on black kids when they're getting recruited anyway.
Right.
You know, they try to shine a light on a single parent household. You know, that's been happening since I got recruited, and I'm sure it happened to guys like Vincent Young and other.
Okay, let's just talk about it. Hold on one second. Let me stop it. Let's just talk about this. What do you think about this, Soonie? I was dying to know because I see you over there. You put the shady glasses on. What are your thoughts?
He said dual homes is single parents. Free lunch does not equate to black people. Single parent homes does not equate to black people. Do it for my mama does not equate to black people. But you know why people think that? It's because the media, conservatives, liberals, Democrats, Republicans have accurately and inaccurately depicted black people as such. So when you hear Deion Sanders saying, oh, he's got to be talking about black women, when he literally he didn't even attach gender to it. He said single parent and dual. I don't quite understand what the issue is. I think it's stupid. And for repeal the 19th for this woman. How do you even equate black women? It's like black people force themselves to be a part of the conversation when it's not even about them. Like, God.
No. I know. I thought it was so it says your stream is having connection issues. Stand by while we restore the connection. Let us know if you guys are having trouble hearing us. Like, you know, I thought to myself in the end said it. He said, Deion just said out loud what every coach is actually looking at when they're recruiting players. Now, you guys all know I'm no recruiting expert, okay? But it makes sense to me, right? It makes sense to me based on what the role is of that specific player. I can understand, like, why wouldn't you use that particular person's upbringing and who they are in their role to create a good team? This is why Deion makes good teams. This is why he understands how to build a good team. Is he understands people. And he understands that everybody's an individual, everybody comes from a different place. So why wouldn't you harness that? It's not for people to be like, well, are you saying that only because they're, you know, people always say, oh, well, there's all these white quarterbacks, right? There's all these white quarterbacks in the NFL. They never have a black quarterback, which is not true. But, you know, then they're going to say, oh, so you're saying all white quarterbacks because parent households. Well, they're focused, right? They have leadership. They're surrounded by, you can assume, right, that you're surrounded by two parents who are leading in the home. And this is why when coaches go to recruit, they go visit the home.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
I don't know.
I mean, he even said it. He said it very clear. He even broke it down by position. Your offensive line, I want dual homes, but that defensive line, because look, most kids who come up in a single parent home, they have some sort of aggression and anger that they exude. It's normal because you take on the spirit of your mother. So it has nothing to do with race. But thanks for the black woman who just effectively ruined the entire conversation and decided to make it racial. And he should know better. Who are you? Stay in your place as a woman. You don't tell a man what he should know.
Exactly.
Especially when you're not even a coach. Can we pull her up again? I don't want to rag on big women, but bitch, how much do you weigh? When's the last time you even looked at a playbook?
I was trying to wonder, what does she do in the sports industry?
Do you know anything about coaching? Do you know anything about player personnel? The type of player that
what does she do?
That you need to respond to you? Look at you. When's the last time you went for a walk around the track?
Somebody come look at this. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Honestly, though, they ruin it for people like me who I feel like I have effective conversations on race because I have a goal in mind. They're just up here speaking to blow hot air. I mean, you ruin it for people like me because then other folks are just like, I don't even want to hear this. It's racial because y'all just ruin it, bro. You guys ruin it.
I know they do. You know, and there's not just that. So, and I'm trying to get P, by the way, P is like, you guys need a call-in number because I know he wants to chime in on this. So I sent him the link and I'm like, come on without the camera. He's wasn't feeling good. So I don't know if he will or not, but we'll continue to talk about this because there's another scandal surrounding Deion Sanders. I just feel, why is this man under so much attack constantly? I mean, it started at Jackson State and it's still going. The guy can do and say nothing wrong. One thing I will say about that comment is that when I was watching it, the comment section and even the people that were interviewing him, but the comment section, nobody, this was a sports channel, nobody was bothered by that comment until the internet made something of it. You know? Yes, Justin, you can come in. Is that Justin? Oh no, Justin.
That is Justin.
Soonie ain't gonna let you come in. Listen, Justin. Soonie ain't gonna let you
Justin, for the sake of the show, because you provide a different level of just like, what the F? People will get sucked in to listen to your. Yeah. When we get to that portion, I would love to hear what Justin has to say.
We'll talk about race. But let me read you an article on what else the problem is now with him. Is Deion Sanders, head coach of University of Colorado University, found himself under fire again after an atheist organization called him out for sharing religious practices with players. According to the letter, the Freedom from Religion Foundation sent a letter to the University of Colorado claiming that the team could be violating the Constitution through engaging in religious exercises led by coaches. The FFRF pointed to what really happened: a staff member leading other staff members in prayer, and Coach Sanders instructing another staff member to initiate a prayer, players, according to the letter. The organization claims that a staff member led the players in prayer after being directed by Sanders. The prayer allegedly read, "Lord, we thank you for this day, Father, for this opportunity. Father, for this opportunity as a group. Father, we thank you for the movement that God has put us in place to be in charge of. We thank you for each player here, each coach, each family. In Jesus' name we pray, amen." Can you believe that they have a problem with this? Like, what?
Yeah, because it's said in Jesus' name, and with Jesus comes standards and stipulations when it comes to access to a promise and a privilege we're given after we make the next transition in life. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah. I really hope that Colorado State University does not pay this any mind. Like these organizations that are trying to attack a coach, like there's worse things going on. There's coaches letting the opposite sex on the team in the same, locker room. Okay, men in the same locker room as girls, and he's over there doing God knows what with these girls, undressing, and this is what you're gonna attack? Golly. Our world is.
Well, what makes it even worse is you have the same people, like you have these people that feel offended coming out and attacking Christianity as well. This ties into our next subject. Out in Arizona, a city councilwoman, hopefully I have that right. Is she a city councilwoman? She's a school board member. I'm sorry. All right. Parents in Arizona, if you live in Arizona, listen to this. A school board member decided that she had an issue with speaking about Christianity. Now, this is who she is right here. Observe, please. Observe her entire existence. But an Arizona school board member wearing cat ears during a meeting said she would oppose having a contract with the Christian university over religious and biblical beliefs they espouse. Now, I didn't know exactly what her issue was until I watched the video. And when I heard what her complaint was, I'm just like, how is this even what are you mad about? Why can't Christian schools do what Christian schools do? Why do you have to sever ties with them? Like,
exactly.
It didn't make any sense.
Well, and you didn't get to see this, but I talked about it, I think 2 shows ago. Bryson called schools. Like, he was literally calling schools on lives, and he was like asking them, do you allow a teacher to display like a Christian, Christian
Yeah.
pride something, right? Like you would an LGBTQ pride flag. And the two schools that he called, one school was like, yeah, sure, we'll let them display anything they want in their classroom, which I don't like
Wow.
that. I don't like that because I don't anything.
Right.
You right? But two of them were just kind of like not wanting to answer the question.
Listen, I'm going to play a little portion of her complaint.
Yes.
Before I play this, I want you to hear how she describes herself. Are you ready? Hold on. Let's pull this graphic back up. This is who our school board, this is whose constituents voted in to even be a part of the school board, and this is who's making decisions for your child at the end of the day. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Valenzuela describes herself as a bilingual, disabled, neurodivergent, Black Latino who loves hot wings, but only with light ranch.
Of course she does.
Things that sparkle. This is who we're taking advice from. What?
Wait a minute.
Who voted you in?
She's a black. Wait a minute. She's a Black Latina. That's what she said. Why does that even matter? Why does it matter what she is and what hot wings?
Queer. I left out queer Black Latino.
Oh, you would
So
just
she
put the
checks
nail
out
in the coffin.
all of it.
She black.
She checks out all of it.
Here comes
Okay.
Chad.
Comes Chad. Hi, Chad. All right, here we go, y'all.
Heaven. Part of their values is influence, engage, and transform culture with truth by promoting the biblically informed values that are foundational to Western civilization.
Can't even read.
Including the centrality of family, traditional sexual morality, and lifelong marriage between one man and one woman.
Now, she has an issue with this because she's gay. I mean, she's a carpet muncher. I can't say gay on here.
Oh my God.
She has an issue with this because she's a carpet muncher. She has an issue with Christian universities teaching this at their school. And because Christian universities teach Christian principles in Arizona, they decide, nope, we can no longer do business with you because somehow a mother and a father doing what they naturally do is just so disturbing to the fringe minority population in this country. So they just made a decision for your children in Arizona that they were going to sever ties with a university that teaches Christian values. And it came because one overweight, disabled, bilingual, neurodivergent, Black, Latino, queer woman who liked hot wings, but only with light ranch and things that sparkles, decided to raise her voice and complain.
You know what
That's
kills
what we're
me?
dealing with.
Only light ranch. Like the bitch looks like she weighs 400 pounds, and you're telling me I'm supposed to believe you like light ranch? Okay,
Light
okay.
ranch, y'all.
Whatever,
Light
sis.
ranch.
You do you. Lesbian. Yeah.
I got to play a little bit more and then we can move on. Because
keep playing it.
It blew my mind.
Keep playing it.
I want to know how bringing people from an institution that is ingrained in their values that will very directly, one, impact 3 of your board members who are a part of the LGBTQ.
Do they go to the Christian university? Do they? Who gives a crap? So you're telling me my existence?
Right.
Ma'am,
who cares
my
that it impacts the people on the board?
Your existence impacts my children and everyone else. But if I say it to you, I'm a bigot.
First of all, clean up your area. What's her name? Lupita. What's her name? Look at this.
Hold on.
Everybody else has like a drink or whatever and some papers. She looked like she don't ever get up. She's sitting in this desk looking like Jabba the Hutt, okay, with 3 drinks. She probably got her hot wings and her light ranch. She probably smells like hot wings. How unprofessional is it to come to a meeting with cat ears on? Valenzuela, that's what it is. Look at this. And let's just take a guess on who the other LGBTQ people are. I'm guessing dude on the right
there
in the gray sweater and the red hair in the middle.
What can I ask you? why does the LGBTQ need access to the school board?
I don't know. Why does that matter?
Why do they need access to the school board? Why are you trying to control what the rest of the country, not even the country, let me not be dramatic. Why are you trying to control what universities do? Or not even control what they do, but why are you triggered so much by it that you want to sever a contract with them? That's absurd. Can you imagine if there was a black woman who went in there and said, hey, this, what you have written, doesn't represent me, and that school board effectively terminates any working relationship with the school? Can you imagine the outrage?
The outrage. Yeah.
Even a white person. There would be so much outrage.
It would be bigger news for sure than it is. I don't know why this isn't bigger news than it is, you know?
Big roly-poly ass. I can't. I don't
Somebody
See,
give her
there's
a
a
Weight
reason-
Watchers.
You cannot trust these people, okay? You can't trust the ones that bend over. You can't trust the ones that eat carpets. You can't do it.
Somebody says she is black, Soonie. Duh. It's because nobody could tell, Mike.
She's protected. She's gay. So nobody's going to say anything about her. That's just how it works.
Speaking of identifying as something you're not, what's his name? Josh Adams, the Dilbert guy. Did you know that he was identifying as black?
Yes,
For
he
like,
was.
oh yeah, that was crazy.
Which is very odd, given he wants white people to get the hell away from black people, and all of a sudden he can just decide that he doesn't want to identify as black anymore. Like, what? I didn't know you could go back. You can go back and forth on this.
Soonie, you could go change
Really?
your identity.
Okay.
Would you
I'll try it
choose
out.
white? If you could change your wait a minute. If you could change your race, what would
No.
you choose?
I would be something exotic from a faraway land that's not attached to America, for
Right.
sure.
I'm trying
No, I
to
wouldn't
think.
wanna be
I mean,
white.
I like who I am, but if I could change, I don't know. I'm trying to like strategically think about this because like food is the most important thing. So like my thing is like which race of people eats the best.
I don't see. That's a good one. Ooh, we'll
Yeah.
have to do that next show. Which race of people has the best food culturally?
It's a tough one. Definitely
Guys,
not
I'm
white
gonna-
people. And
Definitely
I
not white people.
apologize. Yeah, I apologize to the white people watching right now, but y'all don't season your food enough. So I'm just gonna tell it how it is. But
Y'all don't put enough
season-
Lowry's on
yeah,
your
you guys don't
your
put
food.
enough seasoning. Not at
Where's the
all.
Lowry's at?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Yeah.
now we have another fun topic because we talked about this queer thing wanting
Mhm.
to effective. They actually did sever the contract with them, you guys, and they cited a reason. I want to read it to you really quick if I can find it. Oh no, I closed it. Darn it. See what happens when you get excited to get it from them. I don't want to be talking about
Ooh.
y'all just as much as y'all don't want to be talking about me. Anyways, the
Big
school
booty
board's
booty. She said
decision to
Italian.
Italian. Okay. For food? That's very
Yes.
limiting because Italians put cheese in everything. So no.
Well, for me, that's perfect.
Yeah, you guys want to die a slow death of like having your arteries in your heart just closed off. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
But the board's decision to discontinue its partnership with Arizona Christian University was based on the board's commitment to create a safe space for our LGBTQ students, staff, and community. This includes not knowingly entering into partnerships with any organization that explicitly discriminates against any protected classes covered by our non-discrimination policies. So you literally cannot tell them no, even if it is based on your religious belief. And that right there is a violation of my rights and anybody else's rights walking around. I can discriminate against who I want to discriminate against. Why don't people get that?
Right. Let's bring back discrimination. Like I said the other day, we should bring back racial profiling. Let's bring back discrimination. Because I'd be wanting to racially profile.
They're gonna come catch your Mo saying that, and the black girl's
Yeah,
gonna be on the
but-
other side, like.
But let me clarify, because what do they call me, Soonie? What do they call me? A
White
white supremacist?
supremacist.
Okay, yeah. So but I'm not. Well, I don't know. Is it a white supremacist if I think if I?
I don't know.
Is it a white supremacist if I really was down for like people making like getting their shoes taken off at the airport? But I feel like where racial profiling comes in is if you are of Middle Eastern descent, you should definitely be searched only because your people are known for that. You know what I mean? Just like Asian people can't drive. It's a fact.
Your people.
It's a fact. I just say what people are thinking.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Your people are known for this, guys.
Your people are
Mo
known for
said it.
blowing shit up. Y'all are known for putting a little bomb strap to your feet or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
That is freaking hilarious. Mitch has entered the chat. This is not a show that he would ever show up. Mitch would melt if he ever watched the show that was put together and produced by me or Mo.
Oh God.
I'm not gonna say that, but I want to yell it right now. But it
Yeah,
would be so bad if I do it.
Look, somebody invite Mitch to watch the show because he would keep our chat lit. Okay. He hates me and Soonie so much. Like all he would be doing is be talking shit up. I would bring him up here to talk. I don't like Mitch. I have him blocked everywhere, but I would bring him up here.
Yeah,
Oh, we about to talk about the Hershey.
Well, this transitions you into our next topic. The queers and the transformers. They're being celebrated. So this is a transformer in the background. Her for she. Of course, Hershey has to do something extra woke because they want to keep the money coming in. That's how they make their money. So they decided to go cater to a biological man. And shout out to Eric July who posted this. And many women are mad and speaking out about this. There's a hard truth that many people don't want to admit. The full clip is now live on YouTube. So apparently there is a clip of them celebrating a biological man for the month of March, which is technically Women's Month. But they're not celebrating women. They're celebrating men.
Yeah.
So men get the W once again.
And I hate celebrating Women's International. I mean, it follows Black History Month, and then we got to go straight into women after that. Except women don't get a section at Target. Let me just point out.
They don't?
Unless you consider like the tampon aisle, the forever
Yeah, they
women
get a whole
section.
section. Yeah. They got vibrators for the women. They got all this stuff now.
Yeah. Wait, so do you have the Hershey clip?
I'm looking for it.
Okay.
I don't see it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe because they're making a play on the word her, she.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what they're doing?
Yes.
But it's not meant to be broken down. It's just Hershey's. It's not meant to be her, she.
Yeah, you weren't meant to go take it and where's the actual commercial? I can't find it anywhere.
Either way you cut it, whether it's a her or a she, nowhere does it say dick is involved in that. So if you have one, you're neither one of those things. Hershey, Pennsylvania.
All right, here we go. Are you ready, y'all? Are you ready? This is so disrespectful. I grew up going to Hershey almost every summer when I was a kid. I lived in Pennsylvania. My father would take me to Hershey probably every other weekend I was with him during the summer. So this is like super disrespectful to me, man. Why you got to go to my home state and just attack Hershey's? What did chocolate ever do to you?
Is that where the Hershey came from? Hershey, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Can you go to the Hershey's factory and eat chocolate?
Yeah, and there's an amusement park too.
What?
Heck yeah.
Faye Johnstone. I'm the executive director of Wisdom to Action. We can create a world where everyone is able to live in public space as their honest and authentic selves. See the
what man? I'm sorry.
What?
I wanted to say what woman sounds like that, but I said man because you're a man.
Wait, are all these other? See, I don't even know these days. Are these women and
that thing in the front? I see an Adam's apple, just like real strong there. Do you see that?
Christine said round 2 of tossing the cookies.
The woman changing how we see the future.
You're not a woman.
You're not.
You're not a woman. Who is we? How do you experience life as a woman? What do we go through? Can you tell me how like my mental state is every month around the middle of the month? I know Mo can because we're both
Yeah.
women and she relates to my craziness.
It's hellish.
But a man would be like, "What the crap is wrong with you?" So I just want to know how this man knows what we women want. That's what I want to know.
I don't even know where to start. Like that should have been a Mo Reacts segment. Because I'm still like, what? I cannot believe we're excited. Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure that this isn't like satire? This is like real?
No, this is actually real. It's not the condom thing. Where I had to fact check myself live. This is actually real. It's actually real.
I don't know. And people, please don't go out boycotting Hershey's. It's delicious. Okay.
Just said don't boycott Hershey's.
Because it's not going to do anything. Because it's not going to do anything. They don't give a fuck. It's not gonna
Disney
do anything.
doesn't. Disney just lost a crap ton of money. Let me not even get into Disney. We'll save that.
No, I think we should get right into that. No, Disney is not losing money. Okay. Disney is not.
But they just had they had just had to cut people because technically they are losing money. They've had to fire a lot of their employees.
You know, I think they're losing money because the prices to get into their parks are completely ridiculous. I used to live in Southern California, so like the Anaheim Park was really close to me. And I remember I don't remember like it being more than like $40 to get into Disneyland, and now it's like to go with a family it's like $800, $1,000. It's ridiculous. So I think that's why they're losing money. But Disney is using this race conversation to provoke people to give them free marketing and shout outs. Can we just jump right into this? Because now I'm getting upset. Yeah, now I'm getting upset.
Ready? You're getting upset?
Yeah,
I feel like this will be the main topic you guys will ever see me and Mo disagree on.
Hard.
I don't think we're going to disagree on this.
Hard because Soonie you've been going live all freaking week about racial issues.
I have.
And I've been posting. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of talking about race. I'm sick of everything being made about race. And my reason being is, where are we getting with it? And Soonie thinks we're getting somewhere with this. So go ahead, Soonie, defend yourself.
We are. Look, the reason why we're getting somewhere with it, and I have to look at the camera because I'm selling something. The reason we are getting somewhere with it is because people like me know how to have a conversation that has nuance and context. I know how to listen to someone else's side to say, okay, I can get what you're saying, right? And then they're more open to listen to me. In fact, I just got a message from someone who absolutely detested conservatives because of their language and how they spoke on race. And after 4 weeks of watching me, he said, you know what? I'm going to give conservatives, Candace, and all these people another chance. Maybe I had it wrong. So I don't think we should just throw this conversation out. I get it. Talking about it with certain people, yes. It's futile, it's lame, it's stupid. They don't know how to have a conversation outside of the circular arguments they have. But when you talk to people, like I talk to other white people, right? They'll tell me like, dude, I have a crazy police department here and they've done this to my family. My sister's gotten punched in the face. One of my uncles got locked up, and these are white people. And they sit and have these conversations. Do you not find things like that as productive?
No. Because again, I don't feel like it's getting anywhere. Like if it led to us being less racist or more aware, I would say, okay, maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like we are more racist than ever. And I'm just like attributing it to my own personal experience. I never thought about race before, and now it's all I think about because something in the news pops up and somehow it's made about race every single time. And maybe it's like the conversations that I'm hearing, but I just don't hear solutions. I just hear people talking about it. And like when we talk about Disney and like the Little Mermaid and the Tinkerbell and people getting upset about these fictional characters getting turned into black characters, who cares? Like if you don't like the new version, then watch the old version. If the black character speaks to you more, then watch the black version. And I don't even want to say it's the black version. My thing is, if the story is good and you playing it good, I don't care what color you are. You know what I mean? Like
We agree there.
you do agree with me there? Okay.
No, I don't think it matters what race any of the characters are. I think
Mhm.
it's very stupid that people are having these. I think these conversations are stupid.
Mhm.
This is where I'll agree with you. Complaining about the race of a fictional character, which Mo said it a couple days ago off camera. Tinkerbell literally came from the tip of a pencil.
Right. This is
Tinkerbell
what we're
had
getting
no
upset.
mom, no mom, no dad. The idea originally came from a Scottish writer and a cartoonist. So
Mhm.
even if you were to say, because a lot of people, I'm going to pull up some actual comments from people. Even if you were to say, oh, you're taking away from white culture. This is not American white culture. Neither is
Right.
Ariel. It's
Right.
from another land, and they're not real. They're not. They're not real.
Yeah.
It's a fiction. It's a character from someone's imagination, from
It
someone's
is.
brain.
It is. It's fictional. I don't know why our names changed, but let me
They
switch
did.
mine really quick. Yeah.
I put not Mo.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. And you know, Fabian's comment that it said CNN said black people are uncomfortable with white doctors. I don't get that either. Like I'm like, the body is the body. I get that. I get that, you know, black people are more susceptible to things like sickle cell anemia and things like that.
Yeah.
But you don't study sickle cell anemia in black people, you study sickle cell anemia.
Right.
Okay. So it's the same treatment no matter what color skin you have. I don't understand that. I don't go to doctors because they're Hispanic doctors. My gynecologist is a man. Even though some people might be like, well, you would think you would want a woman. She knows your body more. No.
Yeah, men are more gentle. They're definitely more
Men are
gentle.
more gentle. Men are more gentle. Women kind of tend to write you off. Women doctors tend to kind of write you off. I don't know. Like my gynecologist is older. He's probably in his 70s, and I'm super comfortable with him. He takes his time talking to me, answering my questions. I don't know. I don't know what to say about the whole doctor thing, but I just think this race conversation is tired, and I just feel like we're not being productive with it. I can understand people arguing over, you know, like if they turned an actual character that like existed, right, into a color that person actually wasn't. I could understand that. I could understand having a debate about that, right? You know, like people do about Jesus, like what color was Jesus, right? People have that conversation all the time. But
here I'm gonna pull up the caption I wanted you to react to, but here's my question to people. For the people who are saying Disney's doing this to erase white people and white culture, do you care when Santa is depicted black? And do you care that Jesus is depicted as a white man with long hair? That's not how Jesus actually looked. No one knows how Jesus actually looked, but he looks like a modern day white man hippie walking down the street somewhere in California. Like, let's just be honest about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people that we see in our history books and all these other things, they are not accurately depicted as they actually look. So do you have an issue with Black Santa? Because the origin of Santa is completely white. Completely.
I don't give a shit about what color Santa is. Listen, I have Christmas pajamas and they have white Santa and black Santa and an olive tone Santa. So I have the 3 different Santas represented. I don't care. He's your fictional, whatever makes you comfortable. He's not a real person. Now, going to Jesus, if you go back to the region that Jesus came from Nazareth, it's typical for the people that came from that region to be of a darker complexion, not the way that
Yeah.
they're depicting Jesus. So yeah, the Bible doesn't, people will say, oh, well, he had the hair of wool and blah, blah, blah. I got freaking hair of wool. Come on. Like, like if y'all have seen my real hair texture, I got crazy hair. So what?
Who cares?
Who cares what he looks like? Isn't what he said more important?
Yes.
Right?
But apparently not, because character is not something we judge anymore. We judge the race of people, which is completely contradictory to what Martin Luther King taught. And I know I just saw a crap ton of white conservatives and black conservatives share that fucking I have a dream speech all over the place. And you made sure to pluck out where he had dreams for his 4 little children that won't be judged based on the way they look, but of the content of their character. Did we forget that?
Yeah.
You have to read this. You have to read this.
Okay, so this is from our boy Right Wing Angel, if you follow him on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay, so let me read that. You want me to read this out loud? Okay, there are some. Hold on, let me put my glasses on. Okay. There are some who will say, what's the big deal? It's a fictional character. And I will reply, this is all part of an agenda. Disney believes that white is the only race that does not matter. Disney believes that? Okay. With every other character, race is important. Is it? But for white characters, it is not. I want to live in a world where everyone is treated. He said equality, but I think he means equally. Wait, what? You want to live in a world where everybody's treated equally? I don't. I mean, I want to live in a world where everybody gets a fair shot. But if you're saying that, then that means we gotta treat the who's and the what's equally. That means that everybody gets a chance to be a woman. I got a problem with that. I don't agree with that, Oliver. Okay, where the race of the original character is important or not important, no matter what race they are. Tiana from The Princess and the Frog. Tiana is from The Princess and the Frog. Race is not important to the story, but Disney would never race swap her. When fans watch live action versions of cartoons they grew up loving, they want to see an actor who looks like the character. So he's talking about like action, like the Marvel people, right? This is essential to her character. I should be able to see a scene from a movie and know it's Tinkerbell. But if she's got wings and her name's Tinkerbell, don't you know? I think diversity is. Wait, didn't they make Peter Pan when they put him on Broadway? Wasn't he black? Or he was something, right?
Do you know what he is in this movie? The live action movie?
What?
He's from India. He's Indonesian.
Huh.
Peter Pan is not white in this movie, just like Tinkerbell is not white in this movie. They race swapped a bunch of characters, but keep reading. Keep reading.
Okay. That is essential to her character. I should be able to see a scene from a movie and know it's Tinkerbell. I think diversity is great, but only when it's not forced. When diversity is based on who were the best people for the job, it's amazing. When it's based on a quota, it's racism. So I don't know. I guess I would say prove that this was based on a quota. I mean, we can assume based on what's going on in the world today that maybe it was, a quota type situation, or they were trying to appeal to a different crowd, which I probably think is what they're doing, right? But again, I go back to who cares? And he's saying people saying, what's the big deal? Here's what the big deal is. I don't buy what your argument is, Oliver, for what the big deal is. This is crazy to me, like to spend this much time on this. I don't care. And so and P said in the chat that he liked The Wiz better than what's it called? The Wizard of Oz, the Black Wiz, right? Hello, I like The Wiz better. It has Michael Jackson in it.
But
Diana Ross.
But get this, nobody complained about it.
Nobody complained about it.
Nobody complained about the Black Cinderella when Brandy and Whitney Houston took over the characters that were originally white. Nobody cared. And that was in 1998.
Right.
When that movie dropped. Nobody
was
cared.
A great movie.
What about all the voiceovers? Are we going to go that far? Not only white voices can play white characters. Well, Nala wasn't white.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce played Nala going forward. In fact, a lot of that cast was black that was originally white.
Yep.
What
Mm-hmm.
do you mean? There are
Right.
so many things that we racial. Nick Fury has been depicted as white in every single comic book. And you know who
Mm-hmm.
plays him now? Samuel L. Jackson.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember when Lion King came out, it didn't occur to me to think what color are the people that are doing their voices. I I don't know. I just think we have to be careful. Like you guys, we're making this conversation okay for our children, and it's not. It's not okay. Like kids are innocent. They don't think this way. Didn't you say your daughter, you
Yes.
asked her something and what was her answer? Share with the
I asked
people.
my daughter, I said, is it okay to be white? And she's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to answer that. So this is her words. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. Like, why are you asking me that? I was like, I'm just curious. And she's
Mhm.
like, I don't care what somebody is. I don't care what color they are. And I was just like you said, the first thing that came to my mind is there's some little black girl on the internet because we know parents don't watch their kids, right? And they scroll upon the right wing angel and they see all of these white people on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, disgusted that a fictional character from the tip of someone's pencil is depicted as black. Do you know the what do you call it? When the complex. You're putting a complex
Yeah.
on the youth because
Mhm.
you have an issue if they are depicted as black on your screen.
Mhm.
You're not helping anything. The
Right.
same thing with Scott Adams. You're creating a complex in people that is going to be massive in the next 10 years. Now, luckily, you'll have children like mine and like most kids and the people that are around us. They're going to be out there, but the majority of these people are going to walk around with a nasty taste in their mouth about whites and blacks. And it's
Right.
because of conservatives and liberals alike doing this. Now, I made it funny. I know people will get sensitive, but I said black conservatives are turning into the white saviors that they hate.
Mhm.
This is what you have turned into when you have to depend fragile ass white people from fictional characters. Where how much further are we going to go?
I know. It's really, really sad. We really are planting the seeds for racism to be an issue like it was back in Jim Crow. Like that's really what scares me about it. Because this is like white drinking fountains and black drinking fountains.
Yeah.
White characters and black characters.
It's sad.
I don't care. And somebody made a good point. You're not supposed to be, conservatives, you're supposed to be boycotting Disney. So why you even care to discuss this? Because the more you discuss it, the more attention you're giving to Disney. Oh, we have somebody that wants to join. The more attention okay, you're giving to Disney. They don't care. It's bad press, good press, all the same press.
You have to
All
come
right.
in via your computer. Your phone's going to glitch. So switch to your computer if you can. I can see him in the back. He's on his phone.
Oh, because of the way the screen is?
Yeah.
Y'all get ready for Justin.
While we wait for Justin, I want to pull up some of the responses that I've been seeing, and I'll show you my comment section as well. But Peter Pan race swapped, right? Tinkerbell race swapped. Captain Hook, no, keep him as the evil white man. Like, bro, Captain Hook has always been depicted as white, okay?
Is he white?
And
He looks Italian. He looks Greek.
He actually, you're right. He doesn't even look like the American white male.
Right.
You're right. I take that back. So Captain Hook looks like Captain Hook. Maybe this guy and this young lady and the young man at the top were actually the best actors for this. Maybe they were. And if they were, who gives a crap? Why do you care so much that it's morphed into this is what this conversation has done. For all the people who love to share videos of blacks beating up whites and then depict that as a reality of what happens anytime a white person is walking down the street. Well, now you have Scott Adams who read a survey that only surveyed 1,000 people and he's whining about 260 people, okay? And you have black conservatives that are like, he's right, he's entitled to his opinion. Is Disney not entitled to create the type of films that they want to without white people complaining?
Right.
If Scott Adams can have his opinion, right? Then Disney should be able to create whatever content they want and you should shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Because who cares?
Yep. I agree. Who cares? Let them do. Let them do. You're not supposed to be supporting Disney anyways.
Right. How do you even know what Disney's got coming out?
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly. I need Peter Pan. Hold on. What does this say? I need Peter Pan to be the redheaded stepchild. Redheads don't get enough representation. He kind of was a redhead in the cartoon. Yeah.
Do you want to know something funny?
Mm.
I have never watched Peter Pan.
I
Never watched it.
watched it, but it was a long time ago.
I
You
don't
know
even know the
what?
story of Tinkerbell or Peter Pan.
You know what? I've never watched The Jungle Book.
That's a good movie.
Is it?
That's actually.
I mean,
really
I've
good
seen
movie.
like clips from it, but I've never watched the whole thing.
Yes, it's actually really.
Is Justin coming back or what?
I don't know. We'll see.
Mm.
She tagged
Yeah.
him.
I don't know. I mean, I think there are some movies that are just made better when they do a remake, and then there's some movies that just aren't. Like they ruin it. You know what I mean? I'm kind of old school. Like I'll always stick with the original version. I'm trying to think of one that was made better the second time around. Oh no, I do like The Wiz. Wiz is one of my favorites over The Wizard of Oz, but I also like The Wizard of Oz. I like both. I like the black and white version. Somebody said we should bring back black and white TV programming again. That might help.
We should. Then people won't get to see the race, and they won't be able to complain.
Yeah, they would figure it out. There he is.
What's up? Here are some of the comments I wanted Mo to react to that I thought was freaking hilarious. All right, this is Adam Francisco is one of my friends, by the way, so we don't have any beef. But he says there wasn't an anti-white movement back then. In addition to this, because I showed that there's been several recastings of Cinderella and all these other movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, what anti-white message is in Tinkerbell or Little Mermaid? And I'm asking because by your logic, blacks playing white characters is just anti-white by default because of the times that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he didn't answer me. He just says they kept the bad guy white and made everyone else people of color.
But they do that all the time in movies, right? Like where they have the black person be the crackhead, the prostitute.
Thank you.
And nobody gets upset about that.
That was my next point. They typecast black people,
of course,
Latino people, all the time.
Of course they do.
Why don't we freak out about these things? Justin, welcome to
Justin.
the
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Okay. So where should we start? Should I talk about what we were talking about here?
Wherever you want. Whatever you want to comment on. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I think as far as this Tinkerbell controversy, it's a bit overblown. For me, it's all about if the person looks pretty. If we're going to have a Tinkerbell, she has to look cute and pretty. And before they cast it, she looks adorable. She looks cute.
Yeah.
I would have been fed up if it was like a thick Tinkerbell.
Right. I would be mad too.
Yeah, because it wouldn't look like, even if she was like, voluptuous and very good looking, if she was too thick, it'd be odd and just weird if she's flying and you see her butt jiggling and everything like that. So it makes sense that Tinkerbell would be slim, and this person fits that description, black or white. So that's it. But yeah, no one was pretty much complaining about Kang and for as like Ant-Man and the multiverse. He's black, but really in the comics he's white. So no one is talking about that. It's just that it seems like our favorite characters, we don't want to be converted to black or another race. The other characters that aren't really the main character, you could change them to black or white.
Yeah, nobody notices that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Soonie, do you disagree?
I just don't care. I've never really thought about any of this to have.
I mean, I will say though, I would get mad across the board if they like Justin said, if they made the character visually unappealing. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, like that would just take it too far. I would even be willing to say, like, what if they put like Tinkerbell in a wheelchair, like just to cater to like, or make her like Down syndrome to cater to people who have those conditions. I'd be like, okay, now you're making it obvious that you're trying to cater, and why?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't
Ooh,
know.
look at this. Should black people ask why you always killing us in a scary movie plot? How come we're always the first people to die?
Exactly.
Should we
Are
start
we?
getting mad about that? Dude, if you go back to any scary movie back in the day, like I Know What You Did Last Summer, Brandy was the first person killed in that movie. She was the first black girl to go down.
I never thought
Black
of it.
people are always the first to die in a movie.
But you know why? Because y'all always run in the horror movies. Y'all are the first ones to run. You're like, I ain't getting involved in this shit. And you run. And then they get you from the back. That's why. But
So
what was I gonna say? You know what? Like, okay, what was that movie? You People. Like,
yes.
I was upset when they brought in that ugly white guy to be what's her name's love interest, Lauren.
Yes. Lauren
Because
London.
I was like, that is completely unbelievable that a woman that is
Absolutely.
as beautiful as her would be with a guy like him. Like, his personality is not even that great. So
Exactly. I agree
you
with
should.
you.
I didn't even like to see her kissing him. Like they
Well,
should have
she
cast
didn't. They literally had to
CGI it.
double in
Yeah,
CGI those scenes because she didn't want to kiss him.
yeah,
Duh, because you wouldn't actually go after someone like this.
right.
Jonah Hill, exactly.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Jada was the first to die in Scream 2. I'm just saying that's a reoccurring theme in like old school horror movies back in the 90s. Is blacks are always the first to die. Blacks always play a drug dealer, a crackhead, some sort of corrupt cop. Look, let's check this out. Let's explore this. Denzel Washington has done Glory, which was his breakout movie. That movie is freaking amazing. He's done Blue Rhapsody. He's done Out of Time. I can mention all these movies, but the only movie he's won a Grammy for outside of Fences, I mean an Oscar for outside of Fences is what?
Outside of Fences?
Outside of Fences.
Was it the movie where he played a pilot?
Nope. He didn't win for that either, and he was amazing in that movie.
Where he was a fighter? Was he? Oh, where he played. Yeah. Where he played
Hurricane?
Malcolm X.
No.
Hurricane.
He played Hurricane as well. But
That's
the
right.
only movie he won an Oscar for was Training Day, and he was a piece of shit police
Ooh,
officer.
But he was so like, oh, that was
The only movie Halle Berry has got an Oscar in, Monique as well, is when she busted open on Monsters Ball for Billy. What's his name? Billy Ray, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah. But
Look,
Angela
Monique-
Bassett got a Grammy for Wakanda, Black Panther.
An Oscar. What did she get before that?
Nothing.
She's probably got. So that was her first one.
Yeah, which she should. I mean,
Okay.
hell, she did like Waiting. I mean, I thought Waiting to Exhale. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Tina Turner, hello.
I'm just saying, there's a 1,000 different things that people can complain about.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to go down this route, you can open the floodgates for more division to come through.
Yeah.
Just saying.
What are you thinking about, Justin? Something's brewing in your head.
Well, I'm trying to think of their best argument. I'm trying to steel man the argument of why this is important. And I think the reason why this is important is because, I mean, it's connected to everything else. So back then, we didn't have a Black Lives Matter and a race war, and we didn't have that in the late 90s or even throughout the 90s and in the early 2000s. We didn't have that. So everything is contextualized on that. So when the left is doing something, they're doing it with the intentions to make the right mad. So we all know that. Now, even when they do something that is, I guess, on schedule, like something they was going to do anyway, like let's say make a Black Tinkerbell, which was going to happen eventually. If we didn't have these race wars, we wouldn't care.
Right.
But we have these race wars. So it makes sense for us to know that they're doing this to make us mad.
Exactly.
So we're getting mad because we know they're doing it to make us mad. So that's kind of that's the best way I can see it.
Yeah.
But really, it's not really important. Like, okay, Tinkerbell is Black. Why should I, as a man, care?
Mm-hmm.
He made sure to put as a man. I feel that Why
Would you
should
be
you
mad
as
if
a
they
man
made her
care?
transgendered?
Say it again.
Would you be mad if they made her transgendered? A
Oh,
transgendered
heck yeah.
female?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
that's
different.
unforgivable. Like this is a woman, you know. And if, yeah, if they decided to change this into something that is an
Now,
abomination, now, yeah, this is an abomination.
now
Being
that would
gay,
be real messaging.
Woo.
Because what are you telling that child, and why do they need to know this character is non-gender conforming? Like that would change the conversation completely, in my opinion, versus race.
Honestly, I'm surprised they haven't tried it yet.
well, they're going to do it. They probably
Yeah,
have.
they'll eventually do it.
Yeah, so that's the thing. See, being black is okay. Being white is okay. Being male or female is okay. Being
Mhm.
trans is not okay.
Mhm.
So they made a trans Tinkerbell that would not
Yeah.
be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I
That's
agree.
good.
Hey, somebody asked how your cat's doing.
He's doing good. He's I'd actually just bought him some food that's like prescription, but he's like now at 100%.
Awesome.
He like about a week or two ago, he actually like urinated just clean, like it was streams, and I was so happy. Like
Justin, I picture you like at the kitty litter, just like watching your cat pee, and your cat's like,
I
like, give me some peace, bro.
no, that's how I've been doing it. Like I've like for the first 2 weeks, after 3 weeks actually, after I took him out from the hospital, like my heart was like pounding every time I heard him like going through the litter because I didn't want to go through the same trauma again. And
Yeah.
I'm watching to see if he's improving. I wake up like having nightmares, thinking he's going through it again. And
Aw.
like now he's pretty good. He's peas are just going through like perfectly. But I've been debating whether I should be sharing the videos of his progress, like me like putting the phone super close to his.
I don't know if we need to see all that.
I was going to share it. I was like, yeah, let me show the progress of like how it's dripping, and then now it's like streaming. But I was like, no, that's kind of.
You're like, you know what you are? You're like when parents are like talking about their kids and like, my kid went pee pee in the potty, and but you're like that sad parent, and like nobody else cares but you because it's your kid. You know what I mean? I
know.
get it. I feel
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, so I'm like a little sense of self-awareness came on me, and I were like,
Oh my
"Wow, this
gosh.
looks a bit kind of crazy." But
Y'all are
cool.
hilarious.
That's cool. What are you doing to us? This is a reaction.
No, I just look. I'm just going to show some extremely prominent conservatives buying into this shit. Okay. Now we don't like Emma Mitchum over here. Emma is extremely cringe worthy. She is a Trump psychopath, but
I go
she
back
says,
and forth.
"Oh,
I like her.
please name me an existing iconic black character." Now, since when has Tinkerbell been an iconic white character? Has anybody ever said that in time? Because I never heard
No.
that.
She's not like a significant. I don't think she's a significant Disney character
Iconic. Okay.
or iconic.
That has been swapped for a white person. I'll wait. Misty Seven would lose her mind if they started whitewashing iconic black characters. What is blackwashing?
I don't know. Like
It's a new word that the conservatives came up with. Blackwashing.
clearly, by context, it's just changing the race of the individual that's been typically white.
It's not about representation. It's about trying to get back at white people. Like you said, Mo, how do y'all know this? How do you know this? Did Disney come out and say we are getting back at white people by casting black people? Like, did they say that?
Well, they
Imagine
don't
if they
They don't have to say it. They don't have to say it. I mean, I agree that that's probably. I don't think that they're trying to get back at white people. I think they're just trying to be inclusive, and they're playing into the inclusivity game.
Yeah, see, it's the ether. It's everything that's being said all around in context. We already know that they're pro-trans and they're trying to, make everything more leftist, and they're trying to take everything away from the Christian right-wing white, power, scheme of things. So for them, it's really an attack on Christianity, but they associate Christianity with white people and
Right.
straight white people. So to actually go fight Christianity, they have to fight white people.
Yeah.
That's how they view it.
Yeah, you're right. And at the end of the day, all of this stuff, all of these topics that we talk about every day are nothing but a spiritual battle constantly. We are not in any type of like racism battle and sexuality battle. This is a spiritual battle on all ends of the spectrum, no matter how you cut it. That's what they're doing, is they're attacking spirituality. That's it. I don't want to say that's it because that's huge, but that's what the end game is.
Yeah, that's just how they think. White conservative equals Christian.
Yeah.
And the left, they see themselves as pagan or atheist. So the spectrum is like that, where the further right you are, the more likely you're going to be a Christian. For the
Mhm.
left, the more likely you're going to be, an atheist or a pagan. So yeah, there's just a blend between there, and they think that in order for you to attack the, I guess, the right, you have to attack white people because they think that's the purest form
Mhm.
of. That's why, like,
Right.
of white, they think of Jesus, they think of white Jesus. Same thing. Talk to a
Justin,
Muslim.
don't they call you white? Like that you're, what do they call you? Like white chocolate or something?
No,
What do
he's
they
an
call you?
Oreo.
No, is
Oreo.
that what you think of me? Because I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
people think I'm a white supremacist. So
yeah. Well, automatically, if you supported Trump at any time, you're, of course, white
Hold
supremacist.
on. Someone's asking, so changing a color is okay, but nothing else. Who decides where to draw the line? There should be no line drawn on who can play what character.
Right.
That's called forced segregation. You cannot say this black person can't play this role because it is for white people. That is stupid. You can't do that. Or else, look, according to this logic, you guys are going against what you believe in because you're for integration. How can you be for integration and then be opposed to Disney changing the race of a character?
You
That
mean
doesn't
segregation?
make any sense.
You
No,
mean
no, they're for forced integration. They had
oh,
no problem with the Civil Rights Act passing to where people were forced to coexist. They had no problem when they started busing kids to schools, so they were forced to intermingle with the people who didn't want to be around them, right? Because they believed there's nothing wrong with whites and blacks interacting. So then what's the problem? What's the problem? If you don't have a problem with whites and blacks interacting and you are for integration, you're opposed to segregation, why are you not for integration when it comes to a simple cartoon character?
Mhm.
It's not like they redid George Washington and turned him into a black man and said we need to erase white figures. That's not what they're doing. These Disney characters aren't real. It may be nostalgic for you because it's a fucking cartoon, but they're not changing obvious important white characters in this country. Point me in a direction that's happening because you can't. It makes your grievance look this small.
Yeah.
They're not changing history. They're not changing what the forefathers look like. They're not changing nothing. They changed Ariel and Tinkerbell. I want you to listen to how trivial your complaints are as
Sound.
white people. Like that is the dumbest thing ever to be complaining about. White
Right.
people are not being erased from the face of America. Stop it.
You can't erase them. They're the largest
Stop it.
percentage. Come on. How do we feel about James Bond? You may not like my answer, but I need Idris Elba to play James Bond, honey.
I would
But
watch that.
woo!
Heck yeah.
Let me first of all, who said James Bond only needed to be played by a white character? Number
Thank
one.
you.
Number two, James Bond is just a character for just good-looking men, and the Bond girl is for good-looking women. Okay, so I don't care who plays it. Idris Elba, he could get it all day long. I love him
Exactly.
all day long. But I heard it's just a rumor, unless he's just playing us.
No, they're casting a woman. That's fact.
No. I mean for James Bond, for Idris being James Bond.
Well, it's not a rumor that they're casting a woman.
Mm-hmm. As a female James Bond, you're joking me.
Nope. Not kidding at all.
Is
It's a
this
female
why
James
Christine
Bond.
asked the question? Because
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I am not okay with that.
Yep.
What's her name gonna be? It can't be James.
I have no clue, dude. No clue.
Jasmine Bond. Okay.
Jasmine
It
Bond.
said Jasmine Bond.
Yeah. Come
They're gonna give her
on.
some name. Some name. I don't know what it is, but here's the last thing I'm gonna say on this. Black conservatives have literally turned into the white saviors they complain about.
Okay, repeat that.
All you have done, you want me to say it again? Black conservatives have turned into the white saviors they complain about. When you have to pick up the torch and the mantle for some feeble, weak white people over a Disney movie, there's something wrong with you. You don't get to complain about black people bitching and moaning about race and history and all this other shit when y'all are actively picking up the mantle for complaining. I'm gonna keep saying it: feeble, weak, fragile. This is white fragility on blast.
On blast, yeah.
If you are picking up the mantle for these people, you are a black savior, and that is what is happening to this movement. We have allowed white people to become victims, and they get mad at me because you're not a victim. And I don't care about Coca-Cola implementing some whiteness, whatever the training was, diversity training, and it hurts your feelings. I don't give a shit. You know what hurts my feelings? Watching black people play thugs all day. That hurts my feelings.
And what did I say when we talked about the diversity training at Coca-Cola? It did nothing. It changed nothing. Y'all were talking about that I was even talking about the diversity training, bitching and complaining about it. But see, Mo has come to another level now. We are growing over here. We are evolving. We are getting better. And that's all that matters, right? But that shit did nothing.
Nothing.
Why are people talking about Hamilton? Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
Now, I would like to speak for all the black saviors. There's a
Okay.
reason we need to, as black people, need to stand up for white people, because there have been white people that would stand up for black people during time of civil rights and so on. And we needed them. Actually, I'm not saying need. We were happy. We appreciated their help. Why? Because it showed that we had a common bond of being a human. So
But what happened?
well, it's the same thing. So that's the thing. I appreciate it when a white person would speak up for me when I can't speak up for myself. And I would do the same for another white person. I'm sorry, for another white person. Like
Okay, but
for a person.
But let me ask you a question. Okay, so let me just pose this to you. If you were in a store and you were getting like harassed, and a white person came up and said, "Hey, like he's not doing anything, or he didn't steal." Like, let's just say you were being accused of stealing something. He didn't
Yeah.
steal this. Would you be like, "That's a white person sticking up for me, a black person," or would you just be like, "That's a good person"?
Well,
Because
well, in that instance, for today, that would just be a person, speaking up for another person like me. But
Mhm.
if this is the 1940s, then yes, I would see that as a white person standing up for a black person, because the racial tension is white people are literally are as a majority are racially attacking black people. Now it seems to have flipped, where black people can attack white people racially speaking, and we won't get reprimanded as a whole. Maybe people here and there, pretty much reprimanding black people for doing it as conservatives, but we're the minority. White people have less of a voice today to speak what they want today. If they say something negative about a black person, they can get canceled left and right. We got Facebook, we got Instagram. All these platforms are more left wing, which will take away these voices of these white people, and I can speak on their behalf.
okay, I want to challenge people to have conversations without using words like the left, the right, the black, the white, the conservative, the Democrat, the liberal. Why can we not have a conversation without using these words? I'm getting
Because
annoyed.
it's the nature of how people think. It explains
No,
the
it's
team.
the new nature. It's the new nature.
So that's just what it is. It's the new nature that
I
exists.
don't like it. Let's change it. I'm over
I'm
it.
sorry, we can't change the universe
Sure we
because you
can.
don't like it.
Sure we
I mean,
can.
we have to change it by speaking, sure, but it happens slowly. First, you have to see what it is, and then you actually remedy the situation. You can't just pretend it's not
It's a lot
existing.
of separation. People live in a fairy tale land where they think separation is new and it's more people are more separated. people have the internet. Black people have always existed amongst blacks themselves in great numbers. That's always been. Not everybody was for integration. White people have always existed amongst each other in mass numbers. Jews do it. The Chinese do it. They develop Chinatowns. They develop little Greek towns. Where I'm from in Pennsylvania, all over parts of Pennsylvania, we have little Italies everywhere. And there's predominantly Italian people there. And you don't go there unless you know somebody there. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with all of us sticking to who we want to stick to and not having to feel bad about the people we don't want to be next to?
Right.
And I don't have to get on my YouTube and read old crackpot survey that only talked about 1,000 people to negatively depict whites. I don't need to do that. I could just simply say, I'm going to live in a predominantly black area. Chuck the deuces. Why?
Mhm.
Why do I need to broadcast white people or black people? Make sure you get out of white neighborhoods because they're a hate group. What are we doing? Just
Right.
move. If I don't want to be around you, bro, I'm just gonna move. I already said it. I openly already said I do not feel comfortable in a setting where there's too many white people. I don't. That is normal and common for a lot of black people, given that you've been around black people your entire life. So naturally, I'm going to feel odd. Sometimes there's almost this judgment I feel. I told you about it, Justin. I would never show up to CPAC. Those
There's too many white people.
Hell yeah.
Actually,
So
I went to.
isn't that white phobia? Like you actually have a
No, it's
phobia.
not.
You said
No.
never, really never.
I probably look. It's
I
not
think it
likely
depends
that
what
I'm
city
gonna
you
pull
go
up to a
to.
CPAC.
In
It
Dallas,
depends
it was
on what
there.
city.
Yeah, in
City, I'm
Dallas
sorry.
there were tons of black people.
Cool. Okay, well, if it's a mixed crowd, then cool. But if I'm the only black person there, heck no.
Okay,
If I'm
hold on.
one of three, nah, bro, we not pulling up. Nope.
Do you feel that way,
Wait.
Justin?
Of course not. Wait. Especially not around white people. I don't feel any kind of awkwardness around white people. But do you feel that way about like Japanese people? Do you if you're like the only
Of
black person?
course. Of
Okay.
course.
So it's just you don't want to be singled out. So if even if it's like a bunch of Indians, you don't have an issue with that.
I would feel very just like awkward. Like I'm gonna wait till some more people like me show up. Maybe I'm gonna come back, but it's not likely.
Okay. I see.
Do you think that that's just like a sentiment that black people have? Because like I personally don't feel that way. Like I would be comfortable in being the only Hispanic person in a room full of black people, or Indian people, or Asian people. But that's just me because I'm super like, hey, how
Yeah,
you
no,
doing?
dude.
You know, like that's just my personality.
I think that's a norm. I think that's a norm for a lot of black people. Like me and my sister were talking, and I was like, "Man, you go to Harbor Creek. That's a portion. That's a sub-suburb to Erie, right? You go to Harbor Creek. Your head got to be on the swivel, bro. Because look, they're not used to seeing black people come to those areas because we don't live there. So when you see it, everybody and their mama is looking at you like you're some form of an alien. So it's like, I don't even want to come here. Why would I come here when you're going to do this? And of course, Erie is a small town. I'm not saying it's like this everywhere, but I can understand where people come from in these conversations because I don't like being in a room full of too much white people. I don't.
So it's not white people per se. It's just you. It's just you don't feel comfortable being the only black person. That's it.
Yes, I don't.
Okay.
It feels awkward. It feels very weird.
Okay, let's look deeper into that. What's the worst that can happen? What does your mind tell you that like they're going to gang up on you? That what's the
It's probably something that's been ingrained in me since being little. Like I won't negate that. It's like the initial, I guess, paranoia of judgment when you walk in a room and people are just looking at you because you look different than them. And they're probably wondering the same things. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck's this black lady doing here? Like, what's going on? And we're probably having the same reaction. But it's the silence that just is like, all right, it's the awkwardness where you're like, okay, I'm about to dip. I don't even want to sit here and try to fix the silence.
And then you find that like one white person that says something really awkward to make you feel comfortable.
Exactly. Like,
I mean, I
oh
felt
my
that.
God. You know what I've had white people do? Pick up my braid and say, "Oh my gosh. Where did you get this from? How did you do it? Is this yours? Is it braided in?" Now look, that's
You
that's
know,
a innocent curiosity.
it
It's an
is,
innocent
yeah.
curiosity, but it's fucking awkward, dude. It
It
is
is.
awkward.
It is really awkward, and I see it all the time, and I'm thinking to myself, I have to have a little bit of just as a like an external, observer, like I think to myself, they're just as nervous maybe as you are, so they're trying to
Yeah,
like make you feel or maybe they can sense you're uncomfortable, so they're trying to make you feel
probably.
comfortable, or they're assuming you're uncomfortable. I don't know. I
Mhm.
think maybe if people looked at it that way a little bit, they'd have a little bit more understanding, you know? That's the movie We People, they did a lot of that, like overkill.
Overkill for sure. That's why I
Overkill.
liked it because it
Mhm.
accurately depicted things. It was funny.
Yeah.
You got to watch it.
It
You
You
was
got to
guys
watch
okay.
have
that, Justin.
I've seen that movie.
You did.
Yeah. You guys have to see that movie I told you about on Facebook. The Strays.
Yeah.
You
The what?
have The Strays. Oh my goodness, that movie was so cringe. Oh my goodness, it really made me feel sorry for this white man more than I wanted to feel sorry. I was angry, like I wanted to punch.
So I was angry.
Like I really like I was feeling like this white nationalist anger inside of me. I'm like, and I'm not even white.
What
I
platform is it on?
It's on Netflix. It was
Oh, shit.
really
This Trey.
this is really gonna cause like a whole nother like racial war. If this
It's called The
catches,
Strays.
yeah, The Strays,
Okay.
and basically the plot. Let me not give away the story, but
I'm gonna watch it.
yeah,
When we
the
get off
plot.
here, I'm gonna go watch it.
Yeah, it's gonna make you really angry how the dark skin the dark
Mm.
skin people were portrayed. And the thing is it was some good acting. Hold on.
Man.
Is that Bex? You're like, oh, Bex is peeing. I gotta go watch him. Bex is like, let me go get one in real quick while he's busy.
No. Hold on, I'll bring him back. No, we do not have Unvaccinated Lives Matter. This is a
Truth will set you free.
Truth Will Set You Free. If you want to go purchase that merch, you can go to, I think it's truthtosetyoufree.com if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You can go shop there. Make sure
Our
you
old show.
you type Soonie in there so they'll know I'm a graceful bitch and I don't shit on former coworkers that I used to work with. See? Nope. I'm glad that I got to be such a good person. Good Lord. Anybody else
Yeah.
I would have just ignored that comment. Anybody else would have just ignored it.
Yeah.
There's a neighbor that was just telling me about she saw my cat outside. I'm like, what? Okay. She did.
I saw your cat outside. She just
Isn't
wanted
a
to
cat
talk to
supposed
you.
to be
I
outside?
know. I'm like,
She just wanted to talk to
I
you.
was too nice to her. So now she's in love with me or something.
Oh my god. Oh.
Since
She's
we
trying
have
to talk
Justin up here, and Justin is a advocate against censorship, I would love to get your opinion on the latest legislation, the House bill that came out of Florida. So, Florida
Wow.
proposes a bill which will fine bloggers if they do not register themselves as a publisher when speaking about government officers that include the governor of Florida, the lieutenant governor, and anybody who is on the cabinet position. And also, they are looking to take anonymity away from potential sources and whistleblowers, which will effectively ruin the media business because not everybody is comfortable to come out and give a story. They trust that we will allow them to have anonymity, just like some people who message us and send us emails. They don't want their name out there. But people like us, if let's just say someone sent me some very concrete proof on DeSantis, and I put it out, and I have proof to back up what I'm saying, I have to report my source, if I get compensated, how much I got compensated, And also, I have to register myself. And if I don't, then I will be forced to pay a fine no greater than, I think it's $10,000. And then you can go in and challenge it. It's just all over the place. But I'm
Who's coming
interested in
after
what
that?
you think about this.
Well, I mean, on face value, I reject that.
Yes.
But what's their lot like? Who are they combating? Is this a Republican
Well, they're
thing?
trying to fight misinformation, they say. This is about fighting
So this is
misinformation.
the left.
No. These are Republican
This is the
legislators
state
in
of Florida.
So, okay, now conservatives should actually see right through this. Why would we not see? Is this like DeSantis? Is he the one heading this, or is someone considering this?
Yes.
I'm trying to see
Okay.
who
I don't
authored
really
this bill.
understand him.
It was authored by Florida State Senator Jason Brodeur. He's a Republican
yeah.
from Lake Mary.
So, okay, how are they? Okay, do they think they're attacking the left with this? Because we all should see that this is going to.
Yes, so when I brought this up to Liddell, he brought the same point that you brought up. Well, this could actually keep journalists honest if they're forced to report things, because left-leaning organizations will put things out and they won't have any source. They'll just put their opinion in there, which I get. But there's a slippery slope when it comes to these things. Like you're thinking, I went to that same thought pattern. How is this going to affect people like me on the right in the long run? Because what if I have something unfavorable to say about DeSantis or any of the governmental officers in Florida? I now have to register it, show them where I got this information from. They're going to fact check it and determine whether I can post this or not. And then I have to go back to this government agency to fight for my rights to be able to even speak about them.
Yeah.
But does this apply to all journalists or just bloggers?
Well, the language within the document says websites, videos, anything where you're talking about them.
Okay.
It's under that.
So that includes us.
Yes, that includes us. That it would
And The
include
View.
us. We would be the only ones to really get shut down by this, because Fox News is not going to get shut down. CNN, they're going to keep going with what they're doing. It's for smaller, independent people like us, in my opinion.
And see, I don't like that, because we're the saving grace for these people. We're the only ones really contradicting what these big media networks
Absolutely.
are saying. Like, I think this is terrible.
Yeah, I don't see how can anyone be fooled by this. I really don't see it.
I'm going to read some of the verbiage. It says, if a blogger posts to a blog about an elected state officer and receives or will receive compensation for that post, the blogger must register with the appropriate office as identified in paragraph 1F, and this is the actual piece of legislation, within 5 days after the first post by the blogger, which mentions an elected state officer. What? This is unconstitutional and extremely un-American.
This is straight demonic right there. Because now, like, if I say anything about any of them, criticize them on the right, let's say of course we think they're the right people for us, but
yeah,
if we criticize them in any small way, that can be to the extreme level of, oh, okay, well, therefore you're saying that, DeSantis should not be president. And the reason why you're saying this is because you got fake news. Let me go investigate you. Oh, we're going to have to deplatform you and also take away $10,000. So you can't criticize us at all. We have become worse than Biden. I mean,
there you go.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I actually read through the Senate bill, and it gets worse. I'm going to actually post highlighted parts of what I found to be extremely egregious. But go ahead, Mo.
No, I was confused because I was reading and it says the bill says that bloggers report to the state must include the individual or entity that compensated them for the post.
Yes.
So is this only if they're getting paid? Okay, so this doesn't
Yes.
just like if you just have an opinion. Okay.
No, if you're getting paid. So let's say someone picked up our post and we're the publisher. We are going to have to report
Register.
to what we're doing. So Tatum, right? Candace, anybody who's getting paid, is going to have to report this. Now, that seems like a very small umbrella of people, but when you really think of it, no, it's not.
Yeah,
No, it's
isn't.
not, because we could get paid $10. Hey, can you guys post this? We can, or can we post your stuff and we say, well, yeah, for $10 you can license this video, right? We're gonna be included in this if we live in Florida and we're talking about DeSantis.
But could it also backfire against them because people may just be like, I'm just not even going to speak on this shit because why even deal with this headache?
Well, then it won't be backfiring on them because they ultimately get what they want, which is, and this is tyrannical in my opinion. This is no different than what Zelensky did in Ukraine when he completely shut down opposing news sources from talking about what was going on. Now, they're not completely shutting them down, but they are charging them if this passes through. Now, this hasn't gone all the way through, but if something like this goes through, like you said, you're going to be effectively neutering independent voices all over Florida.
Okay, Florida. Okay.
Yeah, this is a state legislation. Just saying, y'all. I know I keep giving. I'm not a fan of DeSantis, and I've been given concrete reasons for almost over a year now as to why he's just not a good pick. He's not. He's written so many tyrannical pieces of legislation, supported very mediocre bills that don't go all the way and then go all the way on some things. Not a good pick in my personal opinion. Just saying. Go fact check. You guys can go fact check everything they brought up here.
So this is just proposed. Are they going to vote on this? Like,
they are going to vote on it. I don't have an actual date. If you want to read the Senate bill, we just dropped it in the chat on every single platform. You guys can click on it and read through it yourself. These are things that you should probably be looking at when you are looking to support a potential presidential candidate. Because the last survey that Fox News showed, DeSantis had a 25% favorable presidential candidate for Republicans. They favored him 25% versus Trump's, I want to say it was like 40 something percent Trump had. But he's gaining popularity. And if I have anything to say about it, I'm going to show another side of him that people clearly aren't looking at.
Yeah. I don't like him. Not a fan.
I don't either.
Next.
He's not a fan. Next. What is this? We got one more subject. I feel like we went through all of our stuff. We literally went through.
No, we didn't. We didn't talk about the slutty cop.
Oh, that is right. What were you going to say, Justin?
Well, then we would end up going back like 2 subjects, before I got on.
Go ahead.
So
what?
Okay, so I think you guys were talking about the whole. What's his name? Deion Sanders.
Yeah, Deion Sanders.
Yeah. So when he, was basically saying, look, we're only going to get, or it's ideal to get someone who has a 2-parent home and is, of course, has a good structure and everything. They're going to be in a more smarter position, a position where you need smart people, to be a quarterback. And everybody else, it doesn't matter. It's better for them to have, be in the worst condition where they're just hungry and they're willing to do anything. So you could just use stupid men to just do that. I think the fact that a lot of Black people knew that he was talking or probably thinking of Black people was telling. And I think everyone knows that Black people fit the stereotype where they're not likely to excel in these, high, positions of a quarterback, while the majority of them are just, they're happy to just be mostly just muscle and not brains. So I think that is why a lot of people took it as racial, because that's what it is. So
go ahead, Soonie.
Here can't deny that.
I have nothing. I have absolutely nothing.
You have to comment. You're doing this in your seat. Come on, it's eating away at you.
No, look. I hear what Justin is saying. But I'm always going to say this. the black population is inaccurately depicted on so many levels, bro. My situation is not every black person's situation. Now, I'm the stereotype for sure. Our background, where I come from, it's the stereotype.
Mm.
But I've been around every type of black person there is. I've been around the welfare queens. I've been around the upper echelon of blacks, bro. We are too diverse of a group to ever have this depict us. And it's only depicted that way because of movies, music. That's why. I grew up in an inner city, all right? We always lived on the brink of the hood. It's always been that way until my mother moved us to some nice areas. I had to be in time. I had to be home by the streetlights. I was not allowed to leave my porch. Okay? If I wanted to go hang out with that element within my family, I want to go drink, I want to go smoke. My mama was not having that. No, you're not going over there. That's not what we do. I was in church every day of the week, Monday, Sunday, Wednesday, midweek. I got tutored at church. The majority of my life was in church. Now, I had environment that she couldn't have shielded me from that. That was my environment. It was going to affect me. But my mother, she falls into the stereotypes. Absolutely. But there was things that was required of me that I just couldn't go run around and do. And that's how it was for most of my friends. In the church where we grew up, there were standards and things that you had to abide by. And if you weren't doing it, you were shamed. And there was always this element within the black community that is negatively depicted, right? That's on blast on media. Black people have always called that out. They used to. Now it has been adopted to make it seem this is what we are. But nuh-uh. If I did some shit or I got caught being a little too fast, I got in trouble with 3 or 4 people before I got to my mama.
But you know what the problem is that the people that are black that don't fit the stereotype, like most of the black people I know, they get shut down by being called a coon and being,
I
all kinds
agree.
of other stuff, right? So like those people just slink into the backdrop because they're just like, I mean, this
Right.
doesn't. First of all, a person with any sense doesn't have to justify who they are. Okay,
Right.
I think it's very bottom of the barrel class that you feel like you have to justify to anybody who you are. So I think those people that kind of just get attacked once and they're just like, you know what, I don't need to do this. They're doing so because they don't need to justify who they are to anybody. And I think that that's how it should be. But then you have these people that are, shaking their asses, talking foul, using crazy language. And they're like, we ain't ghetto. You can't call, we ain't from the streets. And it's like, what are you showing me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're showing me nothing but trash. Like, what am I supposed to believe? You're showing up with your pants hanging off your ass. What am I supposed to believe about you? Right?
See, I get it. But
That's
like
where
I
am
told,
like
this I told Lopez the same thing. That is somebody who is a direct representation of me. They have my last name. We have the same features, right? They may sag, but they're smart. They know how to pick up a book and read. It's their environment. I get it.
Yeah.
It just makes me sensitive. It does. This is a sensitive subject.
But I think you got to take it up with that person, right? Like, it's not the world's fault that the world looks at that and goes, I don't know if I trust that person. Just like when you walk into a room full of white people, you don't feel comfortable, right? It's not that I think that's something you need to address with yourself, not the white people in the room, because it's not their fault. But I think that I don't know where I was going with that. You know how my brain is. It's just like
I
don't
hear
know.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
But we can't keep giving ignorant people the excuse that they don't know any better because they watched a TV show. You ain't never spent any time around these people, but you watch a TV show and you've seen someone out and this is what we are. No, that's not what we are. And like I said, I grew up in the 90s.
It is.
So it can be completely different. I grew up in a completely different era. This stuff is second nature to me. I could pull up to the hood, sit on the porch, blow it down, talk to everybody on the block, and go about my business. I don't feel threatened like I'm going to the hood, guys.
Right.
It's just like, yo, I'm gonna pull up and that's it. That's all it is. There's nobody there waiting at the block for Soonie to be like pew pew. Like,
You can't
there's
say
nobody
nobody.
there.
You don't
Why
want
am
to
I
see.
not dead yet?
Well, the reason why you're not dead yet is because you're not like the shootings are not up in the millions, where they're shooting millions of people. So that you're going to die eventually, like once at some point in the year.
You're gonna die eventually.
No, of course, crime is like small in comparison to like the great number of 8 billion people, but the crime is enough for us to fear to stay outside at night, just not thinking about anything. I mean, there's certain neighborhoods where you can relax, you can actually sleep in the middle of the street, and nothing's going to happen to you. But there's other neighborhoods where you just can't be staying out there. There's going to be homeless people that's going to attack you. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. There could be rapists. Even though the number is very unlikely that you would be raped, but you don't want that one out of a lifetime.
You ain't trying to chance it.
Yeah, you don't want to chance it because the chances are higher at a certain neighborhood. So that's the thing. Like when you go to let's say some of these Mexican neighborhoods, when I see their tattoos, I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna just act like they're just normal people,
Yeah.
Only if I can hear their voice and they sound like, civil people. Okay, great. But if they're quiet and they're just mean mugging me, I'm not gonna sit there and say, well, I'm not gonna believe the TV. I'm not gonna believe what these stereotypes say about them. I'm just gonna trust. No, like
You're stupid. Yeah, you're dumb to not believe the stereotypes because they're almost all true.
they're a lot of times they're true. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. A lot of these
If
stereotypes
that's the
about black
case,
people are true.
then the majority of white people walking around here are racist. If we're gonna go by that logic, most white people that I run into are looking at me weird because I'm black. That's what the TV portrays.
Or they're looking at you weird because you have a Trump hat or whatever and you're black. It could be that too.
It could be a bunch of things, but that's not what the TV told me. The TV told me that this white person thinks this. So I should be safe to walk around and think that.
True, but see, then there has to be cooperating, I guess experiences with what they
What if
say
I
on
have
TV.
all those?
Okay, so
which
then
I
it's
do.
true. Okay, so then it's true. But if you don't, for me, for example, when I did actually hear about, white people being racist in the South and so on, then when I lived in the South and I didn't see all that stuff, I'm like, well, I don't believe that. I think that's just propaganda, right? I was looking for racists. Maybe the only times I did get some racism, I thought, oh, well, that didn't feel bad. I mean, I felt worse.
That didn't feel bad.
But I experienced when I went to Costa Rica, for example, I felt way more racism there. And when people say, "Oh, there's no racism in Hispanic countries and this and this and that,"
Oh no.
I don't accept that. Because my experience was I've seen people actually, call me names and insult me, throw bottles at me. When I come and meet white people here and so on, and I don't see the racism to that level, then I don't believe the stereotype that people have about white people.
Okay.
What happened to Soonie?
I don't know. The white man got her.
The white man got her. The white man took her down. Yeah, I agree with you. It's funny because I told her one time, my mom is from Argentina, and if people know the history of Argentina, a lot of Nazis fled to Argentina. So there's rampant racism there. Like flat out in your face to this day, there's still signs on doors that say no black people allowed.
Really?
Even if you look like you might be mixed with black, like they don't want you in the store. Like they will kick you out. Yeah, like it exists. It exists. So yeah, people don't be stupid, people.
Yeah. So it was only until like I met a friend who actually saw him like stab somebody. And he eventually I started talking to him and leading him to the church and everything, and he started getting me not acclimated, but more he helped me understand like the gang culture in LA, actually Riverside. And I didn't know that Mexicans and blacks were at war with each other. You only hear
Oh yeah.
blacks and whites. That's the only racial war you hear about. So when I hear about
Hey, look,
what's up?
confession. I have said probably some of the most disgustingly racist things about Hispanics. Like openly. That's how much tension there is between both groups. I lived in a town where it was like predominantly Mexican, bro, and I was going fucking nuts. I was going nuts.
Why?
With how many of them? Because they just saturate the area. It's
Wait,
like
you still have
you
those
can't
feelings
just.
now?
Yes, listen. I am strictly opposed to immigration. I do not like it. I don't like the fact that there are so many Mexicans spilling into the South. It's not even freaking funny, bro. And they all pile up in houses with each other and just completely bring down the neighborhood. I have no problem saying that.
Mm-hmm. They do, because that's how they're used to living in their country, right? There's no HOAs in Mexico. In fact, people always wonder, like, why in Mexico are there like blue houses and yellow houses? It's not because they love color. It's because they're on a government assistance program. It's because they're on government, the government issues the paint that's available and that's the color they paint their house. So then when they move here, that's what they're used to, right? Is painting. So you go to like a neighborhood where there's no HOA and you're like, oh, there's all these houses. And then boom, there's a yellow house with 20 cars outside that don't work, right?
Exactly.
If you go use their bathroom, they wipe their ass and throw the toilet paper in the trash, not the toilet, because they're used to a septic system that doesn't work. So there's a lot of things. Like I agree, and I'm Hispanic. There's a lot of things that just
Hold on. You guys sound like Scott Adams right now.
No, we don't.
Yeah, you do. Because you're talking about them as a whole. You're talking about what
actually-
they do and then their customs. Of course, you're not saying every individual, but there's reasons why you wouldn't want to live around that mess.
Yeah. No,
I
I'm with
wouldn't-
Scott Adams, actually.
I would not say it's the majority of them. That's a difference between Scott Adams and what I'm saying. And I also didn't read a survey. I've actually used 20 something years of living next to these fools, and this is how it is, bro. Now I'm not saying that there is not that element of black people. I'm clearly acknowledging it. But when you say it's in mass numbers, no. I run into more Mo's and Christines than I do ghetto ass, ratchet ass Mexicans because I stay far the fuck away from them, dude. If I can see this neighborhood is too many Mexicans, then Soonie ain't up in there.
You hear
It's
that,
time for me to
Christine?
go.
We're the standard.
So that's the thing.
They're the good Hispanics.
We both happen to be Argentine. Isn't she Puerto Rican too?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, we're both of the same mix.
So, you guys agree with Scott Adams' advice. You just don't like him saying it out loud to a lot of people. And his reasoning is you're thinking, okay, well, the pool in which they did the polling was small. But how could you know whether your pool of like all the Mexicans you met was not enough? Maybe it was just, I don't know, maybe 1,000 bad experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not calling them a hate group. I'm just saying that I would just not like to live around them. Now, if he just came out and said, I don't want to live around black people because of this, that, and the third, bro, you got it. But the fact that you labeled Black America in mass numbers, almost all of us, he said almost all of Black America views us this way because he didn't read the survey right. Okay. And it was only 260 people. Now, imagine me using 260 people to say, this is what Mexicans are like. No, I'm not doing that. My pool of these people is far greater than 260 because they don't pull up 260 deep, Justin. They pull up 20K deep.
No.
In droves.
Wait, so you only if
you know what they're like? Do you ready?
game.
I'm about to hit y'all real. They're like the fucking Somalis. They're just like
I am the captain now.
Somalis. I grew up in Pennsylvania. Everybody knows. If you're from PA and you're from across the lake, bro, those people come in droves to the States to buy up everything in Value City. Okay, that's all I could afford growing up.
The fact that it was called Value City, that's so ghetto. That is so ghetto. Value City.
That's where I went shopping.
Hmm.
Value City and Hills. That's where I could afford to go. And the goddamn Somalis came in and they just destroyed it. And they brought their nasty odor with them. See, I don't have a problem with saying this about people.
Haitians are like that too. They're nasty.
I
And
don't
they're
see how that-
criminals.
I don't see. Okay,
But you know what, Justin? I actually didn't have a problem with Scott Adams and what he said. I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was dumb that he didn't clarify that if he would have just said this is my opinion and not cited a survey that really didn't
I wouldn't have had a problem with it.
poll like enough people. But if he would have just said like this is my opinion, like I feel like as a white person, I've identified as a black person. You know, I do everything I can to make black people feel comfortable, and it's my opinion that we should just give up because there's nothing we can do to make them like us. That's fine. Like I support that. That's your opinion. Say it all you want.
Yes.
But the fact that he like used the survey to support what he was saying and people took it as like fact, that was the part that I was like, that's a little misleading. Because then he did come back afterwards and clarify it, but it was too late.
No,
See, I agree with everything Mo just said. I agree with that.
Yeah, and that's a really small thing to disagree on. Because
That is not small.
Yeah,
sir.
because when it comes
you
to
keep
polling,
making it minute.
yeah, because when it comes to polling, that's how you get a sample of what represents the whole. I mean, and if it's randomized, that's the point because it's unlikely you get that many black people. Let's say 200, and then it will actually even itself out in that kind of proportion. It just
Hey, I need you to go watch Today with Julius because he did a street interview where he asked a bunch of people, is it okay to be white? And almost all of those people had the same response my child had, which is, what type of ridiculously dumb question is this? I just want you to watch it. I want you to see how many people come in and oppose what Scott Adams is putting out.
You mean a
both
black
black
person?
and white. Yes, both black and white.
Right. And where did he do it at?
Sacramento. He's in Cali.
Yeah, I think it would depend on where you're doing it at. So if I did it to like conservatives and someone like that, they're all going to give one certain answer. So it's not,
no, randomized. It's random people on the street, just like this survey.
Okay.
Watch it. I'm just saying, watch it. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you on Facebook. I want you to watch it. You can see how many people come through and they're like, "What the hell are you talking?"
I mean,
about?
I saw Bryson. He actually did his own survey on Twitter.
He did.
Yeah, you can't trust what it says, but as of what I saw about an hour ago, there was like 20% that said it's okay to be white, and then like 6% said it's not okay. Now the thing is, he said this is only for black people. He said to black people, but you can't see whether only black people were doing.
You can look at their defaults.
That survey is okay to be white. What choice do you have?
It's either yes or no.
Well, 6% said no. So who knows?
So it's only 6%.
That's a lot. I mean, for his base is not random.
Well, we have to actually no. Let's do this one while we have Justin on here. I think it's funny because I enjoy his commentary on women. I enjoy your commentary on women. I don't know if I've ever told you that before, but anytime I see you live and you're like talking relationship stuff, or when you used to go to Clubhouse, I would pop in to just listen to you irritate those people. It is freaking hilarious.
Wait, Justin, are you still with your girlfriend?
Yeah.
She's pretty. Congratulations.
Pretty ideal in face.
She's pretty. Wait. What do you like about her? I want in face. What do you like? What's great about her?
As far as she has a good head face structure and good nose, good eyes.
No, I mean in general, you're describing her physically. Good eyes.
Oh yeah. She's also she's apolitical in the sense where she's not really, she's not leftist. She's not really. She doesn't know too much about politics, so I get to tell her anything that she needs to know. And she's Christian. She's actually becoming. We're taking her to church and everything. We've been doing Bible studies. She's very spiritual. she's very responsible. She's not ratchet. Yeah, that's it, pretty much.
Sounds
Those are the
like
main-
me. Sounds like
So
me and my husband.
she's a pretty agreeable woman, and it sounds like she's allowing you to lead as a
Yeah,
man.
yeah, pretty much, pretty
Mhm.
much. And that might be too much, but yeah, that's gonna be too much. I don't
How
wanna
did you
put-
meet her?
Instagram somehow. So basically, so there's the dating apps, Black and so on. So some of the girls, they would put their Instagram on there because they don't look at the dating app. So I just went to her Instagram, just went to her DM, and then that's it. We just planned a date, and that's how it went.
Nice. So you just shot your shoot your shot, whatever.
Shot your
say.
shot.
Shot your
Yep.
shot.
He took his shot.
And the ball went in.
Nice.
Score.
Congratulations. See, there's still good women out there. Don't give up.
Pretty much.
You have to go get them younger though, okay? Because older women, they're played
Is she
out.
younger? Is
Yeah,
she younger?
I have to bring that up. Yeah, and she's younger. She's like 24. So
How old are you?
I am 35.
Okay.
So
I like that.
And so that means, this is where I'm realizing that, women her age are looking for people my age. And I didn't realize that I'm like 35. I still think of myself as like 26, 27. When she keeps bringing up my age, I'm like, am I really that old? What? So I'm starting to feel like, wow, there is some privilege here. There is some age privilege. Didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Is she a virgin?
Okay, now you're asking too much.
Am I? Am I asking too much? I mean, I don't care either way if she's not, because it's rare these days.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to know, like, if you were able to find a virgin. woman.
I don't think no.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
No judgment.
I'm judging my head.
I'm sorry. He said, okay.
Was
Now
that
you're
too
asking
much?
Too much.
Was that too nosy?
For me.
My bad. My
If you're
bad.
talking about someone else. Yeah.
Okay, wait, but now that I did get nosy, are you guys abstaining? Like, you guys haven't gotten to that?
Now you're asking for too much.
Ah, you did. That's a yes.
That's not a yes.
I'm just playing.
Oh, God. This is going to be hilarious. I hope
just wanna-
Bryson comes back to watch this part.
I just want to know, because you said you're taking her to church. So I was like, don't be taking her to church in flames now.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, here's a subject about women. A former officer that was fired in a scandal of having other officers run trains on her, because that's essentially what was going on. All right, let's just keep it banned. She was getting a bunch of trains ran on her. Now she is alleging that she was sexually groomed in a federal lawsuit, that her superiors at, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's a police department. She's saying that they groomed her for sex and created a hostile workplace.
Yeah.
Now, this earned the repeal the 19th. This is why women shouldn't be in leadership positions. They should not be around men where they're in the minority, because it's dangerous for men. It has nothing to do with the woman. It is dangerous for men. And you're a little white girl, so now you get to go run rape.
Right.
Oh, they made me do it.
And here we go with the believing her. So this is what it says. So Jason Cole, Laverne Mayer, this is in Tennessee, launched an internal probe in December after he learned Hall, this is the female police officer, had an intimate relationship with other members of the department. I think it was like 5. Okay. According to an outside investigation commissioned by the city, she told superiors about the encounters at the time, which included a hot tub party on a houseboat attended by at least 3 other officers, and the sharing of nude photos of Hall and other officers, according to the investigation, the findings of which were included in the suit. So now she's coming out and saying, hold up just a second. They were actually sexually grooming me. Apparently she was trying to get these officers to like get their wives involved. Even like she wanted the wives to like get in and like have all, be a part of the sexual parties and all this other stuff. But now she's claiming she was sexually groomed and like she was basically being held as a sex slave, which I'm just like, when is it going to stop that we allow this foolery? Like on a serious level, this woman is disgusting and she's ruining the lives of these men. Now, granted, these men chose to mess around with her and that's their fault, but now you're taking it too far. Just take responsibility for being a dirty, ratchet, slore that you are. Like, just stop. The fact that this is being allowed as an actual case in court is disgusting. Her lawyer's disgusting. She's disgusting. And, of course, now we're going to be like, clutching our pearls. Oh my gosh, they were sexually grooming her. Give me a break. Remember the slutty teacher?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. She's all over Instagram with her ass
Look at
on
her.
the daily
And
basis.
they're gonna America. Little white girls with blonde hair get away with murder, bro.
Trouble.
They get away with murder. I think she's going to win this lawsuit because believe all women is a thing in this country. Men are guilty before they even get to prove their innocence. What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, that's true in general. But I'm questioning, like, what does grooming mean for adults? Like, can you truly groom an adult? Because at that stage, you should have the mental capability to just say no. And if you can say no, then that's not grooming per se. Yeah, I mean, you should. It should be only illegal for minors. So I don't see what's the case here.
So you don't think adults can be groomed?
Well, but listen to the examples of how she was groomed, okay? So it says she described it as a sexually coercive environment. Okay, she said she alleged that the male colleagues discussed the attractiveness, so this is the way she was groomed, of women in front of her and traded stories about their intimate experiences. Then an officer told Hall's superior he wanted to have sex with her and that the two officers exchanged photos of their genitals in her presence. A superior not named as a defendant said he wanted to see all of Hall's tattoos, so he was wanting to see her tattoos, including ones covered by clothing, and asked to meet her off duty. Okay. So here's my thing right here. This goes hand in hand with at what point are you going to take responsibility? Okay. If I'm in a workplace with a bunch of men, that's predominantly men, right? Number one, I'm not going to get into a job like that where I'm surrounded by men if I can't handle myself, right? As a woman, when you are around a bunch of men, you need to make it clear what you will not tolerate. Because yes, guys will be guys and they'll have their conversations around you. And if you make it clear that you're just going to partake in that stuff, then they're going to continue to do it. For you to turn around and say that that was them sexually grooming you is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Absolutely.
You didn't walk away. I would have asked, well, what did you do when they said, let me see your tattoos? Did you show them?
Did you report it when they initially asked you to do all these things?
Right.
Did you call? You're the popo.
Yeah, she definitely can't win this case. I don't see how could she.
How much you want to bet she's going to win it?
She's going to win it because she's a woman.
I'm trying to figure out this lawyer has to be real good. Like, how could
Want to
he
see her? They're going to use her. Look at her. They're going to use her. They don't need anything else. They have her. They're going to use her face, her likeness, her voice, her story of a traumatic situation that she was put in. She felt like she wanted to be a part of. I'm telling you the defense that women come up with. I wanted to feel like I was a part of this. I wanted to be a police officer. This is a male-dominated area, and I'm a woman trying to come here. I thought if I played the game, they would leave me alone. Whatever the case was, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
But see that would create a precedence where if you just, I don't know, regret any kind of sex, then you can just say, well, I was groomed. You know, he took me to dinner. I wanted to be part of his friend group or whatever. I decided to have sex with him. He's very persuasive. The word persuasive would now be called grooming. So now they can just they could file any kind of case against any man that they've dated and don't like anymore, and say, yeah.
Well, they already do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's at least some story of like force, coercion. This is not even coercion. This is
This is foolery. But see, this is why men don't allow society to allow women into your spaces, because this is what's going to happen. There's going to be more of this.
Yeah.
Don't allow it.
that's
Don't
true.
allow them on the football team. Don't allow them in the locker room. Don't allow it,
It's true.
because women are terrible.
So I don't know, because there were so many. If it was just maybe one, but multiple,
Yeah, exactly.
just
Multiple times. What are you doing in a hot tub with a bunch of men that you work with?
And you're a married woman.
And you're a married you don't think that they're going to be looking at you wet in your bathing suit, thinking what men think when they see a woman's body? Come on.
What did her husband say?
I don't know. They didn't say anything about the husband. See, it's just like the school teacher chick that was
Yeah.
like selling her pictures on OnlyFans. Like, the husband's silent because he was probably a part of it too. These weird people that like to swing.
Good Lord.
It doesn't say how much
Multiple men.
what the damages are, but she's seeking lost wages and medical expenses. What medical expenses?
Girl, probably her going to counseling.
Oh, medical expenses for the sharing of her nude photos for emotional distress, mental suffering, and
Told you.
the loss of enjoyment of life. Did you send the pictures? Like, how do you prove the loss of the enjoyment of life?
Mo, you ready? She's going to walk in there and look just like this.
Man.
That's what's going to happen. She's going to walk in there and put the poker face on. She looks like a little ass girl. That doesn't even look like an adult. She looks like a teenager. She's going to win off a technicality of she fits the description of what a victim would look like.
Megan
Especially
Hall.
if they show the men in comparison to her. Dude.
So they did show the men in comparison to her.
See?
You want to
look,
see? Hold
I
up.
do.
Hold up. Are you ready for this?
I've been in this business too
Are
long.
you ready?
Justin's like, I don't know about this.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, she wanted some
They
big black
black.
Peter. She won.
They black.
She won.
Yep,
She
here
got
they
in the
are.
bag. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Case closed.
I don't know.
Case closed.
It's
a wrap.
Furious.
It's a wrap. Like, how hasn't anybody come out and said she's trying another?
Because he's a bitch. Talking about her husband Jedediah.
So
He's
okay,
a bitch.
but if I was in the jury, right, I would be thinking shallow. If I'm thinking shallow, other people are thinking shallow.
Yeah.
I'll be thinking, okay, she's like a low 5. She's a 5. So clearly she wanted it. Like, this is her opportunity. This is like, if it was like a good looking woman, like say she's an 8 or something like that, then I could say, okay, someone pushed her. They wanted her more than she wanted them. But
you see this?
Clearly, yeah. I mean, she clearly wanted them more than they wanted her.
He said, I don't think you heard what he said. He said she's a 5, so clearly she wanted it.
Yeah. And look at this. She says, me and my husband were kind of on the verge of a divorce, so she just cracked.
I just
I can't.
Repeal the 19th.
Yeah.
Look, I cheated on my husband and had trains ran on me because I just cracked.
Oh, Lord.
And he's going to stay by me because my excuse for everything I did was I just cracked.
Here's an even better picture of her right here. Look
Stop
at that
showing this
chin.
lady, bro. Can you send me that? I'm doing a TikTok on this.
This picture?
Yes.
Okay.
This little girl's going to win just because how she looks. Oh, my goodness.
Good
And she got those
Lord.
big back black men that just fit the fucking description, bro.
It's
Benjamin
terrible.
Crump is gonna have a time with this. They
Is
better
he
hire
representing
Benjamin
her?
Crump. No. He needs to represent the officers.
Oh, I was about to say because he only represents
She,
black people.
she is using her white woman privilege card. I will say that white women have that privilege when it comes to the police. We'll
Mm.
say that. And white people say it. You know how many times I have heard a white woman say, "Do you know what's gonna happen if I call the cops on you?" I'm like, "Damn, you bitch, you are bold." Because that man could clock you right now.
Yeah.
It's common. Just saying. I'm not am I a mean girl? I swear to God, I'm not. I'm
No.
just saying.
Dang, dude.
I'm just saying.
She
Well, can you guys
So-
find it in your heart to feel any sympathy for her? Any?
No.
I mean, I don't feel hatred for her because she chose that and they chose that. I don't feel anything about it. I just think it's sad that like she's going to the part that I don't feel sympathy about is that she's going to claim this defense that she has and in turn further ruin the lives of these men. You know, like they've already done enough damage
Yeah.
getting involved with her. Shame on them. They should have never done this. Don't, you know, don't shit where you eat type of thing, right? So they should be responsible for that.
Don't be a
But
weak
come on,
man. Stick your
don't be
dick
a weak
anywhere.
man. Yeah. And you know,
Yeah.
these poor men, I don't know how many of them are married, but like their families also have to be dragged through the mud on this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, and is she gonna come back and accuse them of some egregious stuff like that? Because you got caught being nasty.
Would you guys feel sorry for the husband?
Heck yeah.
No. I don't feel sorry for him. Do I feel sorry for him? I don't feel sorry for him. No.
Why
Why
not?
do you think Herb deserved this?
Because he allowed this. Like he allowed her to behave this way.
So he knew?
I mean, come on. You can't tell me he didn't know she was getting into some stuff.
You're right.
Think about it. Like
You're right.
you've
Okay.
got time to be at hot tub parties.
You're right.
Shouldn't you be at home cooking dinner for your husband?
No, she's a modern woman. She's on the police force. They don't do that. We're the last of a dying breed, Mo.
I mean, you
The
saw
last
her
of a dying
husband.
breed.
He looks like a beta.
Well, before we go, had to save the best for last. Joe Biden did an amazing thing for DC.
A round of
He
applause.
actually is going to veto a bill that will reduce sentences for carjackings and violent offenses in DC. I was like, wow, okay, this is a good thing. He is deciding to support Republicans on this piece of legislation for DC, and Democrats are losing it. Now, this is a moment for conservatives and right-leaning media to just point out the fact that he's doing something. Now, I don't know who's telling him to do it. By the way, if you have not watched this documentary, please go watch it. The Murdaugh Murders. We will talk
Ooh.
about that next week.
I just started
Honey.
watching
Get
it
into that.
this morning.
I've been
Dude.
watching the trial. The trial when they were talking to the housekeeper. Woo, the housekeeper had all the tea, honey.
We
She
got to
was-
talk offline. We got to talk
Mhm.
when we get off this.
I'm still
But
listening to the trial.
President Joe Biden said that he will sign a Republican-backed resolution that would override the District of Columbia's controversial new rewrite of its criminal sentencing laws, despite his administration's initial opposition to the congressional intervention. His signature would allow Congress to overturn a DC bill for the first time in 30 years, making a rare moment of Biden's clashing with local leaders of the national capital. He backs making the 51st state. So here's some of
Why
the...
is he doing this?
This is his reason. He said, I support DC statehood and home rule, but I don't support some of the changes that the DC council put forward over the mayor's objection. So he is honestly listening to the mayor who is saying, we don't need to lower penalties for carjackings. So he's actually listening to what his officials are saying. Got to give Joe a W on this. Why not?
Okay.
Why not? Some of the code, what is it? Inside the DC criminal code fight, the DC City Council late last year approved a new local criminal code that includes the elimination of mandatory minimum sentences for many crimes and the reduction of maximum sentences for crimes such as robbery and burglary. I find this to be a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, we got to give Joe his props wherever we can get him because he doesn't get them much these days.
He doesn't.
Good job,
What do you
Joe.
think about this, Justin? Do you find this to be a good thing or just
I really don't know exactly. I have to have more personal experience with these kind of criminals because sometimes when you watch these videos of people robbing people or just having them just go into a person's house, use a gun to just take everybody's stuff, your heart gets like really angry and you say, oh, just throw the book at them. But then when you talk to the individuals and you realize, oh, these guys aren't murderers, these guys aren't like depraved. This was just a moment of, hey, let's just do this to get money, and that's it. I'm not an evil person. I don't deserve to be here for life, type of thing. So I can understand that, but at the same time, I also know that if you reduce the time they get, it kind of encourages other criminals to do this even more. So really a balance of, okay, which one is it going to resolve one thing and then cause another problem? That's the question. I haven't weighed out in my head.
That is a good point. You can't be, and I do get those instances of people just getting in over their head and accidents happen, but they're not actually a bad person or a career criminal. And things like that factor into sentencing, right? So let's say there's a group of young people who commit a robbery and they end up accidentally shooting the victim. You see courts already take that into consideration when they're doing their sentencing. So I kind of think that discretion should be left up to the judge who is ruling, because at the end of the day, it's their discretion on where they decide this person will go, and it's based on what they see during the trial. When someone commits a crime, you have to do the time. It sucks. 1000%. I get it. But you can't shoot someone and say, oops, I'm a good person, and then expect not to get a harsh sentence. You took a life. That's like going to God, right? We believe God is just. He is the supreme ruler of everything. He's going to determine whether he will extend grace or compassion. That's in Romans. Like he says, who will get compassion and who his heart will be hardened towards. So I think it actually is this ruling and him vetoing this kind of falls in line with what we would support ultimately anyway, which is allowing the judge to do his job. Hopefully he's impartial and will actually, rule and favorable to what the person actually did. But in my opinion, this is a good thing for DC. DC has been struggling with crime there. So shout out to Joe for going against his Democrats on this one thing. He's only doing it though because he's there. Of course he wants to feel safe. Of course the people living there want to feel safe. And he's coming up on re-election. He needs to do something. He got to do something.
Yeah, because he ain't got much.
He ain't got much.
He ain't got much.
Poor Joe. Before we go, we have to do shameless plugs. We decided to save this for after the show because the last time we ran it during the show and you guys left. So you can't go do that. If you want to go purchase some awesome merch, you can go ahead and go. You don't even have to go anywhere. You can go ahead and scan this QR code below and you can go check out some of our awesome merch. I will put on the side here. Please make sure you go get your Soonie and Mo shirts.
That's my favorite.
We actually had a few purchases. Shout out to Tito. Tito actually bought this shirt and took a picture and sent it to us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, can we pull it up? It's on my Instagram story, or it's on yours too. I think you shared it. I definitely want to encourage people to buy shirts because again, we are supporting ourselves. We're trying to give you guys something tangible to buy so that you can support us, not just ask you for money. But the shirts are great, guys. They're good quality shirts. The colors are great. I recommend sizing up a little bit if you like a looser fit, if you're a woman. And also if you've gotten your shirt, because I know we've had a lot of people order, please send us pictures so we can post it. We want to see you in your shirt. For sure.
Send us
Me
pictures.
me and Soonie are discussing some ideas for games that we can play on the show and maybe give away some shirts. What were we gonna do? What was one of the ideas?
It was Hood Jeopardy.
Hood Jeopardy.
That's what it was. Go here, guys. Shout out to Tito. Tito purchased
got
one
his
of our
shirt.
shirts. The
He
one that
got
looks
the
like
one
Time
with the awful.
magazine. I
Yeah.
like that one.
Make it bigger so people can see. So the people can see.
I don't think I can. Oh, there you go.
There you go. Look at that.
Go support the merch, guys. We have some awesome new. We're gonna open up a Grace and Mercy line. I'm working on some dope little schemes right now, messing with different designs. I'm gonna have to force Mo to sit back here with me for a couple hours to come
Not
up with some
tonight.
more merch.
Tonight?
No, not tonight. I have stuff to
Oh,
do.
okay.
Not at all.
Okay. Okay.
And make sure you go purchase these hoodies, guys. Go purchase these amazing hoodies. All right.
Great hoodie. I got that bag. I love it. Justin, you became the third co-host accidentally. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I haven't. Is this on YouTube too? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been on YouTube in months, probably like 6 months. So yeah, I might have to make a comeback.
Have you subscribed to us?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for
Make
coming
sure
on.
you get these conservative shirts as well, so you can call out all the fake conservatives.
Yeah.
Please.
I actually wore that. I was at Target and I wore my the Ben Shapiro one, and somebody was like, "I get it. I like it." I was like, "Yeah." So yeah.
Yes. We gotta
They
call them
they
out.
got that it was Ben Shapiro on the shirt. I was like, "Dang, we did it."
And we cannot be sued by you, Ben, because it's not your actual photo. So try it if you want.
Yeah. Try us.
Let's read some more comments and then we'll head out. Oh,
Big
nope.
Booty Judy says do some mugs.
Do some mugs?
We do need a conservative mug. That would be great.
I guess I could do that.
Mugs are great.
I didn't think people were interested in all that. But I guess.
Yeah, people, you know what? People really do like mugs because sometimes a t-shirt is a little too, it's a little too much for people to spend sometimes, or sweatshirts. So mugs is a great way to support.
Thanks for letting me know that.
I've been trying to have Soonie do a whole athleisure
She
line.
has. I just am like, listen, not right now. I'll do it, but just not right now. I could do mugs. That could be done by tonight if people are actually interested in that. Do this. You guys have our email, somewhere in the middle USA@gmail.com. You guys can send in requests for merch, things that you would like to see in the store, stuff that you're interested in. We do have hats. We're going to be dropping dad hats and beanies. I've had to get the design right because it's all embroidered. So be looking for that. And I'll be sending out emails for people to get alerted of new merch that we're dropping. Magnets. Now listen, I'm a one-woman show. I don't even know how to find a magnet to even sell it on our store. That's crazy.
Hey Justin, we're
I
gonna
don't
cam
know.
you down. I'm gonna cam you down, okay? Thank you for coming on.
All right.
All right, bye.
Big con hats. Okay. I did say send recommendations, but just put it to the email. I promise we look at it.
I think for sure hats and mugs and beanies are a good start because it gives that middle ground where people can support and not have to spend too much. Because I get it. Sometimes you can't buy a $26 t-shirt. I gotcha. Plus shipping. But if you sign up on our website, you'll get a discount. So do that.
All you have to do is scan this barcode here. You can go straight to the website. Make sure you put your email in. You will get a 10% discount off your next purchase. So
I love seeing people scan it while it says someone scan the QR code. I love seeing that. That
so do I.
That makes my little heart happy.
My little heart.
It just flutters.
Mo's such a girl, dude.
Thank you guys.
She's
I get
such a girl.
excited. I get excited when you guys support or even just click and go look at it. It makes me excited.
Oh, it is awesome to see.
Yeah.
Everything come to life and people looking at all the things that we've worked hard on. There's actually people on the website now, and
We see you.
Did we get an order?
We see you.
We do see you. I can see everybody on here now. So we got 2 people in Ireland that want to purchase. Listen, anybody who is overseas,
cool.
because we do have a market outside of the US, we are going to be opening up sales to you. I promise, but there's definitely steps we have to take to be able to sell outside of the US. And this is a business, so we have to do things the right way. So don't worry. I promise you, we're going to be coming up with ways for you guys to purchase. Fabric softener. Who is this dude, bro?
I don't know. What do you say? Who said fabric
He's
softener?
been putting random stuff in here all night.
Kevin.
His name is Kevin Coon.
KKK Coon.
Kevin D. Coon. He's calling himself the Coon. All right. This is some pro black. Probably Mitch or Johnny, one of the two. I don't know who's watching, but I'm so glad you guys tune in. Thank you, Kevin the Coon, for your amazing commentary of Go Fishing, fabric softener, and there was one other just outlandish thing you said. I appreciate it.
I know. I think I saw it too, and I was just like, should I pin that comment? Because I don't even know what
We
that's
both
about.
made the same face, like what?
At the same time, yeah, because I was really, really confused. What? Wait, why are people making random comments now?
Somebody put cotton picker. What?
Oh, cotton.
Oh yeah. Bye. I cannot take y'all.
So weird. So
Make
weird.
sure you guys tune in next week.
Yeah. What are
another
we
show
going to
planned.
talk about next week?
I don't know, but I think people like it when we just pop up throughout the week just to have fun. We should do that more often.
We should do that. What did we pop up with? We did the Maggie Jackson thing, and then
we were testing out we were testing out the software.
Oh my gosh, dude. No, we can't do that yet. We're not ready because I don't have I don't bring it up because I feel like sensitive about it, but like I wouldn't be able to see the comments. My camera quality was shitty. Like I have to join from my phone. I don't like it. Mm-mm.
Can you guys tell Mo that we need to get on TikTok? Do you know how many times I've tried to get her to go live with me on TikTok?
We
And
do
she's
need to
just
get
like,
on.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
we do.
Okay. And then she just doesn't do it. Tell her right now in the comment section. Mo.
I'll tell you what scares me about TikTok is like the people on TikTok are so weird. Like so weird. And it's your fault that I feel that way because every time I go and like watch one of your TikTok lives, I'm just like, this isn't convincing me. This isn't convincing me. It's making me
Listen,
I have like
this will convince you. Are you ready? The algorithm is open, Mo.
What does that mean? I can say anything?
No. What it's saying is the algorithm is open.
Yeah.
So the people that you want to reach to have these conversations with, to bring them here, the audience that we're talking to, they exist on TikTok, okay?
Yeah.
And our stuff is not shadow banned.
Can we just have a fun conversation though on there? Like I don't want to talk about race.
Well, you see, look, that's one thing you can't get away with. On TikTok, you have to be talking about controversial topics, or you
I know
don't
we
get
can't.
any.
We can talk about controversial stuff, but let's not talk about race. I'm exhausted.
What do you talk about? Then body count matters.
Let's talk about women. Let's talk about women. That's a triggering. Let's talk about women and
so look, body count matters. You guys are going to see Mo Cam up
tonight. We have to do this tonight.
No, not tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do body count. Body count matters, dude. That will bring
exactly. There was a girl from Iceland who came on, and she ended up rocking with what I was saying. She was actually extremely conservative.
Say hi to Pickles.
Pickles is like,
she's such a whore. Listen, this dog is such a whore. Like she looks innocent, but she's not. Like look at her sitting in shame right now because she's shameful because she knows what a whore she is. It's okay. Yeah.
What is BCM? What the heck? What the heck? Well, make sure you guys tune in with us next Friday at 9 p.m. We will have some more trending topics, political topics, and hopefully we won't have to be talking about adults being mad at Disney characters being changed to a different race.
Wait, can I show you something about Pickles really quick?
What?
Okay. You see this little this part right here, like I always tell her, if it comes down to like the apocalypse, I claim this part of her body and I'm gonna put barbecue sauce on it because look at this. Look at this little chicken thigh. Like you just put some barbecue sauce on that and just it's so like chubby. Look at her. She's British. Mommy, I
Have you
don't
been
accept
around?
this talk.
Have
She's
you
British,
been around
by the
some
way.
Asians?
She's British. Did I tell you?
Have you been around Asians?
No, but like if it comes down to it and I don't have anything to eat, Pickles is getting eaten, dude. Look at this. Look at this bitch. She's big.
That poor dog.
Oh,
Huh.
Pickles, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to fat shame you. Mommy, it's not
No,
okay.
how about you talking about you're gonna eat her?
I talk for her. Does anybody else talk for their dog? She's
I
British.
talk for my cat, yeah.
Okay. Is it okay? Poor thing.
Pickles is like
It's okay. We're gonna put you in a horror rebuild.
I'm gonna pretend Mo didn't just come on in here and say the most Chinese thing ever, bro. That was like some
What
real chink
Chinese?
stuff.
Oh, because I was gonna eat her.
That was some real chink stuff.
She's so cute though.
This picture though, thank you.
Christine said make her cute. You guys, okay, listen.
Make her
Pickles. Listen, okay, so let me explain to you. Pickles is from the UK, but she's got a very unique accent and she has a thing for black men. Yeah, I'm telling on you now, aren't I? Mommy, don't tell these people that I love a little chocolate. She loves black men. She's a whore. She's pro-abortion, obviously, because she's had so many abortions in her lifetime that she has to be. Are you ashamed? Mommy, I can't believe you're talking about me in this manner. Piggies, we have to tell the people. Mommy, truth be told, I've seen Soonie's husband and he's a hot little chocolate drop. She thinks your husband's hot. Dude, of course she would. Christine said, hello, governor.
Hello, governor.
Hello, governor. Pickles,
Yo, there's 27 people watching us do this. You guys are so badass.
I know. I've always wanted to
like what we do.
I wanted Pickles to have her own show.
You want Pickles to have her own show?
Mm-hmm. Where she just comments on stuff.
She looks like she's trying to get the hell away from you right now.
Oh,
Is that
she's
what's going
not.
on?
Pickles is
No.
a hoochie mama. Oh, it's okay, Pickles.
Pickles is, well, thank you for the 25 people who scanned the QR code. Please make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to our channel. If you like what you heard here today and you're a first-time viewer, give us a follow. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any uploads or any lives we do.
Thank you, guys.
If a cat gets ran over, I'm hungry enough, I'll take some. First of all, can you learn how to spell skewers?
Skewers.
Okay,
You said
that's not how you
skewers.
spell it. It's not how you spell it. But I'm gonna let you slide on that. Where's the outro? Can't find it.
Bye, guys. Have a good night. Love you.
Bye bye. That poor dog. That poor dog.
She loves it.